the highest caliber players jumping in onto maps that we've not seen so much of and how they approach that. Particularly, again, Rax just seems to have a bit of a deeper read on Cypher, on the spy cam placements compared to the rest of the Cyphers in the tournament. So I'm really interested to see what he opts to go for here on Bind.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the grand final, the LVL Valorant Clash. And we are going into our best of 3 series. Map number 1, we're on Bind the Buffalos. On the defender side, VALORANDO on the attack. They made the run through the lower bracket. They got the revenge against Philips Evangelion. And now they are in the grand final. $10,000 are on the line here as LVL partnered up with Red Bull, with Vodafone to make this possible. Big tournament in the DACH region right now. And it's going to be absolutely fantastic. The top teams making it all the way, and we are starting things off with VALORANDO on the aggression, as already pointed out, buying the map. We haven't seen all that much in the late rounds of the tournament, but let's see how this early round shapes up and which team takes the lead on map number 1.
So immediately off the bat, we look to those agent picks. There's no breach. There is no Cypher on the side of the Buffalos, so certainly different, certainly unorthodox. You could say Phoenix, I think, is still pretty damn good. The Raze is kind of where there are a few question marks, but we'll see. We will see. Maybe we will eat those words. This map is certainly spicy with the Raze. You can throw those nades and shoot the rocket through the teleporter, and certainly upset a few of the attackers. Particularly, we saw the devs absolutely destroy the FPS players. But either way, moving in towards the B bomb site here, very aggressive indeed. Flash is coming over the top. There's 2 players into the backside. They're also very blind on the attack, but still managing. Oh, that's a bit of an unfortunate one for Pylon. He had to get the reload off. They were keeping it even, but have now lost control. Spike should go down in just a second here.
VALORANDO, well played so far. 4 versus 3 situation. Spike plan gives them another 300 credits. That's huge for the early round. That's already a big win right there. But can they take the round itself? That's the question. Once again, oh, nice shock dart also coming through. It's looking really good for VALORANDO at this point. Defenders trying to retake. Chris with a kill against Helmsy. Pion with a trade against Braxco, though, taking Breach down. And here comes another little pistol duel as Kane goes for Oyster. Last man standing. Pion trying to get another kill, is able to take Kane down finally. But Chris with a triple makes it happen and puts the first point onto the board for the attackers, for VALORANDO. Nicely done.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Runs out of ammo there, Pion. It was looking good. He had the angles, but want to make sure to get those reloads off in good time. Certainly a tough one, I think. Just so much ordnance used on that B-bomb site. I think it's very, very difficult. They had 2 players just sat behind the site. I think you do have to put someone in a bit of an aggressive angle, taking that first point of contact, maybe in gardens or around that kind of area, you know, watching long to make sure that they can't just freely walk up with no trouble at all. And obviously they pay the ultimate price. They lost the round for it. What we do see an awful lot of on Bind, right, from a lot of players, I think collecting the orb, particularly on attack, is really, really big here.
What an engage. I mean, you're making a perfect point here. Yes, picking up those orbs is, of course, incredibly important, and we've seen so many plays made around those, sometimes even sacrificing a Sage Wall in order to get it. But that got explosive very quickly. 5 players dying in quick succession. But that's also the move onto the A point for the attackers. VALORANDO once again with the plant. Trying to wait for the defenders' rotation here. We've got a couple of Guardians in play. Buffalos haven't made their move just yet. They still could. Are they waiting simply for the move back and trying to catch someone on the back end? Or are they actually trying to recap? Doesn't really look like it. The move through the showers. Yeah. And are they going to get someone? There's the first one. Nady gets the kill against Rax. Kane, on the other hand, comes in with a kill. Gets the second one against Pylon too. Nicely done. The 2-0 lead now for VALORANDO.
Yeah, looking good early on here, but this is when we start to get into those buy rounds. I think... see it in just a second. There's no pause feature at the moment, but it does look like they've got a bit of an AFK disconnect, perhaps, on the side of VALORANDO. Once again, Nothing we can do about that one. Unfortunately, there is no pause feature as yet, and we have no control over the servers to change options like that, so they'll just kind of have to play it out, which does give Buffalos a hidden advantage. I don't think they're aware of the fact, but all the same, a bit of a chance for them to steal a round away here.
Yeah, at this point, again, the move towards A. Trying to check that one out. We already hit the drone out on the map. Still playing for that AWP again, trying to see if he can maybe grab that up. Also exchanging a couple of shots here. We have Brimstone rather low, so Locka is taking some damage on Valorando's side. First little battle happening in the middle of the map, and Pylon getting the kill against Braxco. That's Breach down. Trying to get this essentially into a 5 versus 3, unbeknownst to the Buffalos, of course. We're not aware of that AFK just yet.
Get him.
Yeah, falling back again, going back towards the spike. It's really tricky for them to move into any of these points. We have 3 defending A, so breaking through there is nearly impossible. At this point, you're down to 2 players that are actively on the map. And here comes our AFK, back to business. I swear to God, that's one of those moments where it's just like your mom calling, you know, it's like, I'm playing! I'm in the grand final! It's like, you can play in 5 minutes! It's like, Mom! But yeah, so whatever the reason was, maybe had to take the trash out. Apparently, that's solved now. So there were 3 here, but they're just gonna save.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they sort of, not necessarily threw the round away, but tactics kind of went out the window. We did see those 2 players that went down. They were on their own. They just went for some wide swings. Obviously, not really sure when Kane was going to get back in. So it's kind of fair enough. Bit of a weird one. Does allow the Buffalos an advantage, though, and bit of a cheeky advantage, right? We'll see what they can do with it. They have indeed been handed a gift, an olive branch from the gods of Valorant. We'll see whether they are able to make good use of it, but nothing too much to break down there. Not that spicy, nothing very fancy going on at all. Valorando still have money to buy, so it's like that round kind of didn't happen in a sense.
Yeah, attacks coming in now, of course. This time with 5. But yeah, that one round lost. So that's playing around this one. Already a wall coming in. Okay, and here again, once more. Do we get a kill? Chris has been playing fantastic with the ult. Uses now the ult, grabs up the AWP shortly after. They have really good AWP control. I like it a lot. It's fantastic for their ults, of course. Already trying to move through here again. The Roomba is out as Raze is trying to go for a bit of information. Yeah, but the shift over towards B slowly.
Valorando do like to go for this, right? They get some aggression in, draw some rotations, and then move back to the opposite bomb site. I think it works really effectively on Haven because it's such a big map. Byron, meanwhile, has pushed out Baths there and manages to find the lurker on the other side of things. The smokes come in, but they get ahead of the smokes. Neddy and Pylon doing a great job. A 3k in from Pylon. Fantastic round from him. And Valorando showing some kind of issues with the attack very early on. I don't think they're as comfortable on Bind as they are on that Haven.
Very, very clean. I mean, the replay shows it directly, of course. It's really, they're long. We have multiple angles where they come in. And it's just like the timing of the smoke also. It just didn't perfectly work out. So they didn't wait long enough. It was roughly, I would say, like half a second that they just jumped out too soon, or the smoke was half a second late. Whatever the reason, it did not work out on the communication side, apparently. So they move in, and it's a clear line of sight for the defenders as they take them apart. Ties it up. 2-2. Wall is up again, and that saves also the ultimate orb once more.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice wall, to be honest. Relatively safe. You don't have to peek out very wide. I'm going to see Looker just knife it down slowly but surely. Drawing a bit of attention. Pylon taking an aggressive angle here in Duca. In the off angle, going to get one round the corner. A second as well coming in from him. Does get traded back, but a beautiful round so far. Neddy still in on the site itself. It's all pretty much going to be down to Braxco. He does have a bit of help on the way, but it's quite far at this point. I'm very unsure, though, whether the bomb is actually making its way over towards this B bomb site or not, but I really like this position from Neddy in at Garden, right? It's so hard to deal with.
Yeah, and these two have held down B. the entire time here, so I would not really be surprised to see VALORANDO start to switch it up towards A little bit more. That was just absolutely good play in the last 2 rounds, both of them. I mean, honestly, Phoenix in particular, getting those 2 kills before he goes down and setting up the 3rd one, that was just fantastic. Now 4v1 position. Yeah, and that's the kill right there. They know exactly where it is. Braxco needs to take the Roomba out. And that's immediately the moment where we have Raze just peeking around the corner and taking him down with a big swing here. Just look at this. Gets the 1st kill in, the 2nd, perhaps the 3rd. What a play there. Netty playing just fantastic on that B side together with Pylon. Alright, time to shift it up a little bit. Lucka has also the operator now in play.
Let's make some
Shit
chaos.
just got real.
Indeed, it definitely did. We will see whether he can tap into what he's been bringing the entire tournament pretty much. He's been so good on this operator. But Long is pretty much going to be nullified every single round, I think. Netty has tapped into something pretty nice here to just, like I say, keep them at bay, keep them back, make sure he's not taking any early peaks, any aggressive peaks, not giving away early frags, which I think is a big difference. VALORANDO are used to taking aggressive fights, and Buffalos are just not giving them any at all. Pretty much never.
They're actually going for B again. So they take on Netty and Pylon once more, apparently. Incendiary comes out, and this time with the AWP, Netty goes down. Lucka, he's had it. Comes in with the operator and says, I'm going to show you boys how it's done. We still have Pylon standing. Well, at this point, he's just lying on the floor. Turned into a corpse by Rax, who just jumped over the box there and took him down. So the 3rd time charm, apparently, for them. Rax gets the kill against Pion, too. Nicely done. 5 versus 2 situation on the map now. Great play here by VALORANDO in the 3rd attempt to go for B.
So this is what happened in the pistol, okay? They went B, and the 2 B defenders were playing passive, playing, as you can see from where they died here, you had one in the crate, you had one in the little cubby corner near the crate. So it's like, when they play passively, I think it gives the room across to VALORANDO for them to line up a bit of ordnance, for them to get into the positions that they need to be in, rather than someone being in their face, making it awkward and calling for rotations. This round, going back to that passive setup, has not worked out for Buffalos. So I hope they realize that and they can turn it back into a bit more of an aggressive setup.
Pylon by now also leading the charts here, despite the fact that he got taken out on B in the last round. Still all Vandals currently for them. We still have that operator, of course, for Lucka on the attacker side. Really, really good setup for him. That initial kill was actually really important for them. And it feels like, at least in this round, the communication was a little bit crisper. We talked in one of the approaches towards speed, the smokes were just a second too late, which was a huge problem since they moved right into the line of sight of Netty in particular. Buffalos and VALORANDO, they're tight. Makes me super happy. This is amazing. Like, we have a best of 3. We're starting off with a very, very good match here. Helmsy popping off again with a double kill. Love to see it. It's fantastic here. He had such good movements also in the winner bracket final, as he won a 1v3 to clutch out a round. And here, again, showing his skills off. VALORANDO not done yet. Starting to move over towards the showers once more. Peek around the corner. A second here. At least they're trying to. There's the kill. Nicely done. Lucka getting the one against Raze. Helmsy's down 2. Kane comes in with a revive, and all of a sudden we're talking 4 versus 3 situation in favor of VALORANDO. Netty has something to say about that, though. Takes Braxco down, but he himself dies to Kane. What a round. Fantastic. Action all over the place.
Really good stuff. We'll see whether they can pull it back here on the Buffalo side of things. The orbital strike coming through. Information. Ooh, Eusta with the one tap. That's pretty clean. Sees a second player as well. Manages to take him down. Pylon finds Lucka. What has just happened? The smoke's all in on the site. From the attacking side, they all take super aggressive peeks that I don't know they necessarily needed to.
Great follow-up, though, from the defenders. And also gets himself a little bit of a skin here. nicely done. The insta replay here. Guys, once again, big shout out to the production crew here. These guys are absolutely on fire. If you think that these headshots are difficult to hit, then let me tell you that those insta replays are not easy to pull off either. Fantastic performance here, not only by the players. And that is the lead. The Buffalos with a 4-3 right now. Ah, what a fantastic grand final opening. I absolutely love this. I hope this goes the distance. I want map 3. VALORANDO on the attack now, already scouting out the showers, this time a little bit faster actually, grabbing also the orb, falling back slightly. Operator, of course, in play for Lucka. He's again looking for the shot. They're moving through Hookah this time. And that might be one of the small weaknesses that we have, actually. That we have a situation in which Raze is not guarding that choke point that Hookah is. She is sitting on A consistently. And off we go. The last time they moved through Hookah, they ran straight into Phoenix. This time,
yeah, I think they're really slowing this down, aren't they? And it's nice. So we call this contact in other tactical FPS titles with the sniper rifle, playing scoped in. Obviously has that one-shot potential in a lot more areas. Rolling Thunder going to come through, though. The Aftershock as well, but Neddy in this corner with the slow orb. Oh, what a round coming in from Neddy! The 4K! Holy! A great round coming in from him, and the Buffalos just stealing it away. Oh, that is massive. This game is absolutely on fire right now. The individuals from the Buffalos just playing so well.
And just look how they set it up here the entire time, just hoping for the proper play. In comes Breach, sets it up. They expect them to be there long in the corner. Neddy has once more the perfect position on the window, gets the kills in, and just follows up with another 2. That was insane. I mean, him completely popping off there. And honestly, to an extent, that's also to VALORANDO. They did, again, smoke the wrong spot there. And that's a problem they had earlier when they were moving on to B. And Neddy, he has a couple of positions on this bomb site that are actually fantastic for him. This is the second time now that he pretty much just cleaned house in these spots. Lucka, this time with the Sheriff, so they didn't go for a full buy. VALORANDO, that is. 4 versus 4 situation right now. 2 points down on map number 1. Yeah. Phoenix comes in with the wall. Looking on the B again. Fell back, going through the tunnel on the left side. Pion with a kill against Kane. Sage down and eliminating the key player here. Shot that coming in again. Everybody's still trying to go for B. 2 defenders on A. They will rotate soon once the spike is spotted. So far that hasn't been the case. Nobody wants to jump out that window. I wonder why.
Yeah, I know, right? Definitely looking tough for them. But it certainly is showing here on the VALORANDO side of things that they just don't have as deep a strat book. They go back to B round and round and round again. Change of angles from Pylon not going to work out. Gets taken down by Chris. Now they're going to start to move in. No, but again, an unchecked angle. And Pylon comes through. They thought they'd cleared the B bomb site, but no. He gets a double. Again, ahead of the smoke. The timing not quite there, and there's no time for him to get the spike down. Just going to have to back away and save. But VALORANDO are making some clear mistakes here. Right, there's a good few situations where just need to swing to the left, look to the left. Cypher was in the process of smoking it. Let him get that down. You do have the couple seconds to let him do that. And without it, we see what happens, right? Pion, new player in, picks up a 2K, seals the deal.
At this point, you just want to go in with Brimstone and say, like, okay, whenever we go through the window, just make sure that you use all your smokes on that left side. Just make sure Neddy can't get anything in. I feel there's going to be an internal discussion who jumps through the window first. You go first. No, I did last time. This time it's going to be you. But that is just perfect play by the Buffalos. I really love it. It's great play. Neddy again, double kill right away, right off the bat here. Pushing it out aggressively off B. They come through Hookah, take the hits here. Buffalo switching it up. That's amazing. I mean, we're talking about VALORANDO in particular, how they need to change things a little bit. But then all of a sudden, the Buffaloes on B going for the aggression, pushing out, getting a double kill for their efforts here. And that was totally unexpected by VALORANDO. They just didn't see that coming. They didn't expect it at all. Flawless round. A fantastic play here. And really, that switch up on B by Netty and Pylon, just, it was a total curveball for VALORANDO. They did not see that one coming.
For sure. I think that we're starting to see Buffalos really edge ahead here, not only because VALORANDO are making some mistakes, but because they are being adaptable. They're being dynamic with their positions and keeping things nice and fresh. I think Netty particularly has been having a really, really, really good game in that sense that, you know, he will pick up one kill, readjust slightly. We saw it in the 4K. He's not stood in the same spot for all 4 of those kills, so he's really doing a good job of that. We are going to see a change up here, though, Caldor. We're going to see them move across to the A site, see if they can find some success there, but not quite dedicating in the same way. Still a couple of them edging back towards B, preferring that. However, in comes the Hunter's Fury. See whether Chris can pick up a kill here. He's certainly getting close. He does, but not before Pyon actually gets one for his team. So a relatively good pickup there under the pressure.
4 versus 4. Yeah, the heal on Sage used now, so down for probably another 30 seconds here. Kane comes in, Osta goes down, but first of all, he takes down Braxco. Locke, on the other hand, eliminates Helmsy, and that leaves our 2A players. So once again, it's down to Netty. Well, that one got cut short. Netty gets hit, goes down. The Resurrect brings one back for the attackers. VALORANDO with 4 agents on the map. The Buffalos only have Pylon, who, interestingly enough, is still apparently convinced that he can pull this one off. 1v4 now, and the location revealed. Would expect him to save, and yeah, he's hightailing it out of there. But I gotta say, initially, when I actually looked at the Buffalos, you know, you read through the nicknames a little bit, Netty, God, I thought, well, someone is a little bit full of himself as I see the God part. Now I think it's maybe just a descriptor, so he just wants to let people know what they're up against, because, oh boy, has he popped off here. 11 kills for him. Really impressive. Another round comes in. 7-3. And keep in mind, there is actually a pretty big gap also between the first and the second place. First place $5,000, and for second place, it's 2,400. 7 points to 4 now. VALORANDO able to win that round. Still a 3-point gap here. $10,000 in total on the line in this tournament. Going down to the 16th place, actually. Which, by the way, I just have to point that out real quickly, how amazing it is that we actually have a prize pool that is very evenly distributed. So it's not too top-heavy. That is fantastic for all the teams involved here, and is especially for a player the best thing that can happen. When for all the time and effort that you put into a tournament, if you don't make it into the grand final, you still get rewarded here. But of course, the biggest chunk of the money is on the #1 spot here with a 5K. Laka comes in, takes down Osta as the game continues. Double kill for Raze. And so far, it's again the Chris and Laka combo that get the kills consistently for the team reliably and force the entire A position down with the 2 B defenders moving now over. Once again, it's down to Sage and Phoenix.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Just down to Sage now, so... Gonna get smoked off at Heaven. Rez is available, but I don't think they're really feeling it here. Save it for... a better day, to be honest. Maybe get some exits here. Gonna get spotted out as well by the spy cam. Almost taken down there and will eventually go down. I'm not so sure about that decision. I feel like running away and saving the operator there would have been a hell of a lot nicer, but here's what it is. Some replays here from the earlier rounds. Pylon popping off, of course.
That one was still, I mean, right into the face, baby. Right between the eyes. He saw that bullet coming. And there's, of course, the window situation, once again, from earlier that we talked about. Yeah, they jump out again, and every time the cage is a little bit too slow. Previously, we've seen a few times that the smoke was too slow. One time it's Netty getting the kills. This time it was Raze. 5 versus 7. The Buffalos, after the switch here, still in the lead, of course, now on the attacking side. So VALORANDO now defending. Halftime's done. And let's see if Valorando can secure a few more points on the defender side. In terms of buys, a lot of utility being bought, but we have a bit of armor also, for Chris in particular. Caned with the wall. Also afforded himself a ghost, that's 800 credits down the drain. So he's effectively at 0 at night now. And that's the beauty in one of the, in the first round, actually. Do you go for the small armor? Do you go for weapon? Is it simply utility you're looking for? Especially as Sage, you can get a lot out of a proper ice wall, which they already utilized now on B. Helmsy gets the kill against Lucka, though. That's keep coming. Brasco with a hit against Pylon. 4v4 situation. Oh, Netty comes in, takes him down. Kane on the other side, double kill before he finally gets taken out. It's a Sage battle over here. Talking about Sage, the Buffalos, yes, there's the heal. Netty was in a lot of trouble here, nearly died. Still in play. That Chris comes in with that headshot and racks with the follow-up kill. Pion down 2, and that's another point for Valorando. They're closing that gap, they're closing it quickly. They win the first round in the second half.
Looking good. Looking really, really good. It's a very nice start. We did just see how effective their defense was on Haven up against Philips Evangelium. Different team here, different map, but the same sort of fundamentals apply. And maybe they can tap into that once again. Really, really good pistol coming out from them. It's certainly a close one, but they managed to get the recovery on the rotations. Bringing it within 1, like you say. So really, really looking good into this second half. Going to get an early ult orb here as well. Once again, we've talked about how important it is and how kind of the Bath's ult orb is a little more attacker-sided and the long ult orb defensively-sided. So nice for them to pick that up early on into the half here. We'll see what the Buffalos have got planned. I think they do have a few upgraded pistols brought up, as you can see. Sheriff here and whatnot for a few of the players. So maybe going to try and go for something here. It looks like they're going to burst out of the Baths. A lot of information gained there towards short. Oh, Rax going to get all of them. Braxco as well chiming in. And now all down to Helmsy on the Sova. That did not go well.
That kid needs a nerf, seriously. Once again, it's Rax just holding down the angle. We talked. Oh, he gets the 4th kill as well. Calm down, buddy. Yeah, he had a couple Red Bulls for sure. Pops off completely here. I mean, his plays around those traps and the cages are just fantastic. He comes in, gets the triple kill, picks off the last man standing too, and that ties it. That ties it up, 7-7.
That goes there. Oh, this is a nice spot. Yes, this should do. No more charges left.
Brutal. Yeah, full buy for them, obviously, now. They have the Vandals in play. They got Spectres on... actually, no, my bad, sorry. Full buy on the attacker side, whereas Valorando sticks it out with the guns that they bought for the previous round. So we have a few Spectres. So they're pretty much outgunned to a small degree here, but they didn't really feel the necessity to exchange the weapons yet. And, well, Lucka gets the initial kill against Pylon. Moving it right.
Ooh, another one coming in as well. This hookah hold is pretty good so far. 2 very early kills, looking very good. And again, it is that strong buy. So Valorando, their defense in the second half starting off really, really well. Looking to continue the trend.
Smoke's down. Out of charge.
Yeah, it's now a question of how the Buffalos recover things back. It is certainly looking like a tough time. Rax, once again, showing us his spicy cams, as he will get vision of 2, all 3. There it is. They've got all the information that they need. Might just get a recon bolt for good measure as well. But Cyber Cage coming in. A lot of utility locations revealed. A hell of a lot of damage done there. Not quite the frag for Rax, but damn near enough. Eusta will take down Chris, but Rax still available. 2k for him. In comes Kane with the Marshall. And Valorando are looking very scary here.
They indeed do, and this time also without the recon dart actually not showing the position of the camera either, right? You pointed it out several times yesterday that we don't necessarily need that dart in order to just get the information out. And that was a really, really nice info setup that he had, not only through the traps but the camera too. The one thing that I find is interesting also that we didn't really see a lot of teleporter play just yet. So it stays an option, but we haven't seen rotation between the bomb sites yet. Now it's a Sheriff round for the Buffalos. They are now starting to trail behind in points in this first map of this best of 3. 8-7. VALORANDO taking the lead in the Buffalos with their Sheriff round. Need to try and bring it back here. A few kills would definitely go a long way. The hookah window already walled off, though. It's going to be tricky for them to break through that. Can't boost over that here. And they're still waiting it out a bit. Wall lasts 40 seconds. I mean, generates over time. Can break through that quickly. What's the end? Not still. Oh, they waited out.
Yeah, I think their end goal is the B-bomb site, so they're cool to just sit there and wait for it to fall as they will start to burst out all the ordnance coming over the top here, and it's unfortunate timing, but doesn't matter. Kane! Oh my god! Keeps going! Absolutely unstoppable on the back of the B-bomb site. A huge round once again. Oh, and Helmsy, who was lagging behind a bit, I think trying to catch off rotations, is like, guys, what happened? What happened there? And like I say, it was almost so unfortunate because like they'd rotated the third player away from the B-bomb site at the ace as well for Keynes. Hell yeah. A huge round for him.
Look at this. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's stellar play here. Kane is going crazy in this one. We talked about him yesterday so many times. I mean, every single player on the side of VALORANDO had their moment, right? We had so many cool plays. We saw Laka multiple times with that operator. Braxco being aggressive, getting the kills in. Rax with this fantastic Cypher play. Chris with these ults that he has on Sova time and time again with the kills. And now we're looking at Kane getting the full ace here. But the quad kill and him holding the position all alone on B. So damn good.
Out of charges.
And that's 9-7. So now we're seeing, again, the attempt to double check a little bit on A, but also two of them making it over to B. Not really with a lot of success as Reyes goes down. But oh my god, what a setup here.
Coming in from Rax. Will get traded back on this A site. It's now open. So a chance for the bomb to go down for the Buffalos. Plant for short, maybe. Quick rotation coming through the TP. Breaks go in at heaven. Kane down below. So it's definitely a little difficult here. But Breaks go. Perfect timing. Catches the top end of the head. Gets a second kill as well. The spike has indeed gone down. But it's now a 1 versus 3 for the Phoenix. Not gonna happen. And the defuse will come in. 10th round for VALORANDO.
They're definitely getting the momentum now. Once again, it's the defender's advantage here that we've talked about. Kane coming even in and getting the resurrect for Chris. So he's going to have a weapon coming into the next one. Not going to be an eco problem for them at all. And honestly, if he pops off like in the last round again, then it's going to have the ult back up in no time anyways. That might have figured into the calculation here too. But you got to feel for the Buffalos a little bit. They did well on the defender side initially, took the lead there. Now they're looking at another potential... Well, it's a little bit of a weird round for them. They're going eco. Well, they're shifting back and forth here. They don't have enough to go for a full buy on every single player. So if they don't go for an eco here and they decided against it, that means they will only be able to afford the full armor if they are willing to let go of Phantoms and Vandals and go into Spectres instead, which is exactly what they did now. It was a big decision that will be made, actually. And it doesn't start off well. Braxco comes in with a double kill against Pion, and Pylon takes both of them down. And that is actually boding... This is not boding well for them. If they lose this round and don't get any money, then they have a horrible spot in the next round. We're talking already about 10 points here for VALORANDO. So that decision to go for that semi-buy doesn't seem like it's paying off.
Yeah, it's definitely a questionable force buy, to say the least. But... you know, it's one of those situations where if it works, it's a great idea. If it doesn't, then it's not. You know, we're really sat in between those two thought processes. Here we go, though, rushing straight through, straight into Lucas, straight into the meat grinder. Oh, almost every single round, it seems. For VALORANDO, there's just a massive multi-kill that comes through. Super quick replay on this one. Huge shout out once again to the production. As we've literally just seen it. The replay is back in. Just in case you missed it. 'Cause I mean, you know, blink and you will definitely miss that one. But yeah, Buffalo's really struggling on their attack here, for sure. It has fallen apart, yet to win a round on the attack.
Yeah, this one was, of course, also a setup in which we actually saw Rax drawing the aggro, right? And then Laka just capitalizing on the fact that everybody turned towards Cypher, taking him down. And he just had to hold down the button. And I have to apologize. I did not think that the money would actually pan out for them, but because of the loser's advantage, they have enough for a full buy. So that's definitely my mistake. I did not take the loser bonus into consideration when I made the calculation there, so that was my fault. So thanks to them losing multiple rounds in a row, they got 2,900 even though they lost the round. And together with a bit of money that they saved up, that's actually enough to afford them more or less a full buy here. So good calculations from the Buffalos, and that might just give them enough to win this round. Especially as Pion gets the kill against Laka with his ult.
Rax go behind, though. Gonna do the damage here. I mean, he's not really needed, actually. They're picking them all up on the site itself. He still gets the 2k. Helmsy, meanwhile, gets a kill off the back of the Hunter's Fury. Gonna now look to push out of showers. Still full HP. Raxco is just waiting for him. Nice passive angle here on the bike.
I was about to say, is he trying
to check your angles? Yeah, he's trying to go for a ride. But no, unfortunately, walking straight past. Again, you've got to check all your angles there, but it still was going to be a tough situation. Now within one round for Valorando to take the first map.
Yeah, and now they're out of money. Now Buffalo's out of money, and this is going to be incredibly tough. But you gotta give it to Valorando, because they really found so much momentum on the defender side here. It is actually scary. They have such a strong team in them. And they are likely to take the lead in this best of 3 here in the grand final. But the Buffalos, of course, they're coming in with 3 ults. They're trying to use them already. The push out, though, of the defenders, as they're trying to be a little bit aggressive to mix it up here. The problem is that Netty comes in, takes Braxco down. Braxco himself at least got a kill. Laka taking Netty apart. Pion trading again against Laka. A 3v3 situation on the map with the focus being on B. But Kane, you just can't stop this man. Pylon gets eliminated, and now a 3 versus 2 setup right over here with the wall coming down. They're trying to buy a bit of time, but Kane peeks out a bit too much. Pion gets the kill. 2v2. Spike in the hands, and B, is it open? One defender standing, trying to peek on long, and the teleporter finally finding some use.
Okay, cool. It is going to be very quickly followed by Rax. I was going to say, running up long with your knife out is a risky one for sure. Doesn't matter, though. The way it's turned out, they've gone straight into Chris, and Rax, with the flank, will secure the final kill of the first map. Going to get the victory, in fact. We're very confused as to why it always comes up saying defeat at the end of the game, by the way. But all the same, it will be Valorando taking the victory there. On Bind, looking really good on that defense once again. Absolutely flawless from them.
And the plays that we've seen in this particular map, holy hell. I mean, the ace that we saw from Kane, insane. Honestly, so more so than the ace, the 4 kills that started it all, that was just incredible. Then Alaka, of course, the 3 kills that he got as the Buffalos were trying to push into Hookah, all the attention focused on Rex, and he just sits there and takes them one after another. So many good plays here. Netty, we talked about him on that B-spot, on the defender side, time and time again, the bane of Valorando's existence. Really the moment when you thought, can Valorando actually come into this? Great start into the grand final. Absolutely love it. And I gotta say, deep inside me, I hope that the Buffalos are gonna break that momentum a bit, because I want to see more. I want to see the full distance. I want to see 3 maps. But it seems very much so as if they want to close this out with a quick 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we talked about these adaptations within the best of 3. One of the big things I think the Buffalos could look towards is their agent selection. No Cypher is definitely one that I think a lot of us here are kind of questioning a little bit. He's so effective. We saw in that game, although he didn't maybe get the most frags and most kills going, Rax nullified short. Every time they tried to go in, there was a cage there to keep them back. There was a number of trap wires down. His camera up in the corner to get all the information that they were in at short. It's so effective. Sure, he might not be getting all the kills, but that is so important. Information is king in this game. And I think, for me, that's one of the things that Buffalos maybe need to change.
Yeah, Completely agree with you. I mean, Rex in his place with Cypher, the zone control that he offers is just fantastic. Of course, guys, we also have a highlight again, so let's check out the Vodafone highlight here of the first round.
Gotta be me. Absolutely. Speaks for itself. Speaks for itself.
It was just fantastic. Takes up the kill for the Ace shortly after that, but that defense in particular, oh, so sexy. That play was incredible.
Yeah, and it's really interesting as well to see how the defenses were a little different, and yet both were very, very effective. So maybe they will start to steal from each other a little bit going into our second map.
And of course, guys, we will give the players 2-3 minutes to actually adapt a little bit, to just take a breather here, talk things through, prepare for the next one. So we are heading into a short break. Keep in mind, though, there is still our giveaway thanks to Red Bull. Again, Level partnered up with Red Bull, with Vodafone, and Red Bull offers the giveaway for you as well. ! Red Bull in the Twitch chat, and you guys will sign up for it automatically. Also, keep in mind to follow the Twitch channel. There will be more tournaments here in the future organized by Level. Big shout out again to them and our production crew here. We're heading into a short break. We'll be back in a bit, and those 2-3 minutes give you enough time to check out the socials of Level and follow the Twitch channels. So see you guys in a few. Welcome back, everybody, to the LVL Valorant Clash. Off we go. The grand final continues. The 1-0 lead in the best-of-3 series for Valorando, and now we're heading into the second map in just a second, which is actually going to be split, as it seems.
Yeah, definitely interesting, right? I think just trying to catch here what side they're starting on. So Valorando's starting on the defense. That's pretty scary. That is pretty scary for sure. I think they probably would have got the pick of that one, right? Because top seed, I would imagine, picks the side and everything of the maps. But yeah, so really, really good stuff from them on that first map. Again, another flawless defense. They had one earlier on in the lower bracket final up against Philips Evangelium, and then coming into that, it just seems to continue. So now that they're starting off on the defensive side of probably one of the most defensively sided maps in the game so far, is a little worrying for sure when it comes to playing on that attacking side. So yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty scary time for the Buffalos.
Yeah, the Buffalos obviously getting their ass kicked a little bit on the attacker side here, but now that they're heading into this, they come in with a bit of a break, right? You go into the second map, you take a few minutes, and you're like, okay, guys, let's talk through this real quickly. We did well on the defender side. We need to make sure that on the attacker side, we just play a little bit more crisp. We have the calls down better. They have the skill on their side. They definitely do. I mean, they have a lot of players that come through with big talent. They make the big plays. If they can coordinate a little bit better, maybe read the opponent a bit better, they definitely have good chances there. So it's not like they are without any options. They definitely get completely stomped. But as we said, once the Valorando is on the defender side, it gets tough. And we actually can look at a couple of those plays again, just to refresh your memory here on it too. So in this case, it was actually the Buffalos defending and making a few plays there early on.
Yeah, I think definitely there were a few issues in places from Valorando just not really checking all the angles when they were on the attack, and that may well just come down to a question of experience and getting used to these maps and things like that, that there can be someone stood there getting a bit too aggressive ahead of like smokes and things like that. I think at the moment it definitely just is easier on the defending side of things to let people walk into you, particularly when you're making plays like this, you know, for sure. Some really, really good plays from the Sages on either side of things. Might get to see that Kane 4K in a little bit as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough time here for the Buffalos. Their attack looked even messier, to be frank, and just kind of going into the same sort of choke points and making the same sort of mistakes time and time again. And like I've said, split is very, very difficult. You can only really attack into mid and then open up the rest of the map through that area. If you're going to try and go A or B, the choke points are so tight. You have to get control of mid really to have a good chance on the attack.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, as you can see on the scoreboard too, it was incredibly close as long as we had the Buffalos on the defending side. They made some fantastic plays. It was really the halftime that switched it all over when we, as we see here, with the ace. I mean, what a beautiful play from Kane again. I could watch it all day. It was incredible. So here comes the next one. That was the triple kill for Laka. Everybody focusing in on Braxco, actually. Mistakenly thought it was Rex earlier, but no, Braxco is the one that gets targeted here. And Laka comes in and just cleans house. So incredible clean defense from Valorando. But this time, sides will be reversed at the beginning of the map too.
Yeah, I think they were really working well together to just kind of like find a bit more information and pull off some of those flanks and things like that, like we just saw from Braxco right towards the end there. They did a really good job of pushing, getting a bit aggressive, but then not too aggressive. Really, really well done on the defense, to be honest. And hopefully we can see that translated here into split as well. The one thing I think we now look to on the Buffalo side of things is we are starting to get everything prepared. I would imagine they'll be picking their agents and everything relatively soon. Is possibly a bit of a switch, because they do have the Phoenix in there, which is, again, mid kind of tier. They do have the Raze in there, which is a little lower down. But the biggest thing for me, again, coming into split, is not having that Cypher. And I think Cypher is so important on this map, gives so much potential, particularly on the B-bomb site, to actually just leave him on his own or even abandon the site completely.
Yeah, exactly. So the information, that's really a big point. And we talked about that fifth slot, and that's where we would expect either Phoenix or Raze. Having both of them and abandoning Cypher as a pick for your team can make things tricky, especially when we're talking about split. Mid is going to be a focus point, I'd say, as we've so often seen. And it's going to be interesting how exactly they're going to play this one out. There is, of course, a potential that with Raze and with Phoenix, you have a lot of tools to really engage into a fight on mid. You can either use the old on Phoenix, move in, hope to get the kill, maybe set a second one up, as we've seen with previous teams. And then also you have those cluster grenades that can really just help to push an opponent back. But on the defense side, in particular, it would be a little bit rough. I'm, on the other hand, really interested to see what are the adjustments right now. Is it an agent, different one that gets picked here? Or is it maybe just on the call side that we see an adjustment from the Buffalos after the first maps? First time that we have a best of 3 here, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, hopefully there will be some adaptations. I think kind of what you're alluding to is it's not all about the agent picks. Obviously, that's not the main reason that they lost the previous map. It definitely did come down to the way that they played their attack, not quite as good with the spacing, with the fundamentals. I think a little bit of what I'm noticing between these two teams. So Valorando, you may well in the chat recognize some of these names, but you know, ex-pros of CSGO and of PUBG. I think some of them still play those games, you know, on a professional level, but maybe trying to break into Valorant here. Meanwhile, I think on the other side of things, I don't quite recognize the names as much for the Buffalos. And I think it does show a little bit that they have the aim, they have the prowess, but when it comes to like the team play and the coordination, which is super important on the attack, it's not quite as clean. But I guess we'll see whether they have tapped into that, whether they themselves have recognized that, and how they adapt to things here. Not changing anything up with the agents straight off the bat is what I notice.
And with that, we're jumping into the second map. We have a split on our hands. The lead, of course, in the best of 3 series here at the grand final of the LVL Valorant Clash for Valorando, who this time start things up on the defender's side. The Buffalos, they have to win the map, bring it back, and force the third and final one in this grand final. There's a lot of money on the line. Winner of this tournament receives $5,000, second place. Walks away with 2,400. And the first round starts off right away with the attackers starting to focus a little bit onto A side here on Split. Oftentimes we see the aggression through the middle. It seems this time it's mostly the attempt to break through A, as a rotation is already underway for Valorando. At least that's what it seemed for just a moment, moving one of the agents away towards middle. But still a bit of a passive play, with the exception of Polaka in the middle, fighting it out with Pyron and taking the first kill in this game.
The opener coming through for Valorando, very, very important indeed. Shout out once again, folks, to Zilv, fantastic observer here. Over the course of the weekend has been really, really helpful in a lot of different ways. Obviously, supplying what you see here on your screen, but also giving us screenshots of the scoreboards and things like that. Working around the ever-changing spectator client to give us the best possible show. But the push going to come through towards A here. Nice pickup coming in from Chris. An angle that maybe not a lot of people are expecting. Doesn't get checked. Running through a smoke there as well. Leaves a free kill for him. Another coming through. Lucas helping out, and it's all fallen apart once again for the Buffalos. Only Neddy remaining, and of course Neddy, he's got the ability. He does manage to find one, but he's got to get 4 more, and I think it's certainly easier said than done at this point in time. They know exactly where he's at. The spike is also down and in the hands of the defense. And there it is. Kane comes in with the final frag. An opening pistol goes the way of Valorando.
And Eddie at least picking up 1 kill, securing himself another 200 credits. But of course, this one hurt, and hurt quite a bit. Good start for Valorando into the second game. Now they are on the defender side. This is where they're most comfortable at. The attack towards A is being set up again. A bit of a buy with a Marshal in the hands of Kane this time. There's actually also a Bulldog. Got a Spectre. 2 of those actually, whereas the attackers, of course, going more so for an eco setup right now. So just trying to pistol it out, maybe just zerg it up on A and try and rush it a little bit in the hopes to get a quick kill here. Let's see if that pans out for them. There is already the first attack. Helmsy with the kill against Braxco. That was already a good one. Taken down with a Sheriff. Nicely done. The rest of the team mainly rotating over, but the kill as Chris takes Oster down, is able to follow up with the second one against Helmsy. Pyron also eliminated. 2 versus 4 situation now. But the spike plant itself nets them 300 credits each for the next round. That's already a big semi-goal that they achieved here.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, considering what they'd invested and everything into this round as well, kind of did need to get something for it. All now going to be down to Pylon here. Spots out a couple flash going to go round, but the timing not quite there for him. they will indeed manage to pick him up. Again, a relatively clean one from Valorando. Like I say, the bomb plant is really nice for Buffalos, but I think they spent, like I alluded to, catching the creds and stuff. It's a little difficult, I think, again, to follow, but I think they did spend a little bit into that round, so not sure if the one kill on the bomb plant is even worth at this point.
Yeah, they got enough, though, for a full-on buy here.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I guess they didn't...
I mean, they spent some, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
They got a sheriff, but they didn't get anything too massive. But in this case, it seems like Usta at least had to abandon a bit of the utility that he initially wanted to buy. It looked like he gave up one of his smokes in order to get the additional 100 credits that he needed to buy himself a Vandal here. But they are still pretty well equipped when it comes to not only utility, but also the weaponry right now. Of course, armors also 50 on each player. So this is one of the more important rounds for the Buffalos. If they can win this one, then they can build up some momentum. Valorando with 2 wins in a row. Which also means that if Valorando wins another one, then thanks to that loser's bonus, the Buffalos would get 2,900 for the next round, not counting potential spike plans or kills. And they're shifting it up. They're going for B this time. Single defender, all that we have there. The wall is up as they are rushing in. The rotations are happening, but that's a really good setup here. And Pion gets the kill against Rax. Very quickly, Cypher eliminated.
Yeah, he tried to get aggressive, tried to pick up a few frags before the bomb went down. Does not really work out for them. Nice utility usage here from the attackers as well to just keep Valorando at bay. They're really, really locked out of this site right now. 5 versus 4, now into a 5 versus 3. Trade back will come in, but not before Pylon picks up 2. Ooh, nice pickup. Does come through from Chris, but I think possibly too little too late. Difficult to tell. He knows where the sages are. Oh, but Netty with the flick around manages to pick him up. First round on the board for the Buffalos.
Really cool play there also from Chris, though. Like, he waits long, bursts through the wall, tries to get the immediate kill in. But then the flick, as he said, Netty once more just being... he's honestly the backbone of the team at this point. Every single time when the shit starts to hit the fan, he's there and just cleans house. So we have 2 versus 1 on the board on the second map. Good lead for Valorando, but that was an important win for the Buffalos. Pick up a Guardian here, actually, for Pylon. They attempt through the middle for the first time. They're shifting it up quite a bit. First, the attacks on A that we've seen over and over again. Then the move into B. This time, the attempt to break through the middle with the wall already up. They break through it very, very quickly. High ground position for Raze. They can get the angle there, but there's, of course, the slow op, and that allows the rotation. Bolt coming in. Sova again. And Brax for the kill against Helmsy with a Sheriff. Well done.
Looking a little dangerous off the back of that. The heal now spent by the Sage, so that's a kind of 30-second window that's not available. Fair amount of ordnance still remaining for Valorando as the smokes have gone down here, buying more and more time. The boombot will be used and Nade to follow up. I think Kane should be okay from this. Is going to take it down, wants to be safe. That's fair enough. Another bit of ordnance in. Nice crack angle held from Looker. A great shot landed there. Another kill to come through in a highly important round from Valorando. They're going to now move towards this B bomb site where Rax is waiting. The Cyber Cage this time better placed. He spots out one, gets the double in the smoke. Kane is around to help out. But the flawless round for the defenders. Beautiful stuff for Valorando to get straight back on the board.
It shows once again how important Cypher is for the defense and how strong Rax really is. His timings are just absolutely perfect. The setups that he places down every time trap the attackers. He has the vision, has easy double kill, slows them down too. It allows the rotation of the rest of the team, which in this case wasn't even needed. Buffalos, 2 points behind. Good start here for Valorando. But let's be honest about it too. We expect Valorando to take a solid lead here. They are on the defender sides. This is where they are at home. If the Buffalos were able to come out with a positive result out of the attackers round, that would be a very, very bad sign for Valorando. So the question here is more so, how big will the advantage be as we're heading into the second half of this second map? And can the Buffalos then bridge that gap? That's at least what I would expect here. So Valorando, they have to get these points. Every single win for the Buffalos here is a big one in my book.
Yeah, they managed to get the spike down here on the Buffalo side of things. It was looking good, but a really big play comes through from Chris to get the final frag. The operator saved as well. So a good recovery. It did look a little bit dicey. Some well-placed smokes on that A-bomb site can actually make it quite difficult for the defenders. Like we have said multiple times, those brimstone smokes last a long time. So you kind of feel like you have to run through them. Do you want to wait? You know, you get impatient. Very dangerous times with those smokes on the A site, but it works out for them in the end. Kane coming in once again with a nice little clutch play.
Yeah. Rex here with the early setup now once again, as he's the one controlling B. Gets camera out first of all, just wants to see whoever comes through. Only one attack in this case, everybody else is focused onto the middle again. There's the jump, and that didn't quite work out the way that Raze thought, but she still gets the kill. Still is able to get the kill against Lucka here. Nicely done. Cage on the other hand is up. That's a 4v4 situation from here on out. Middle still heavily attacked. Neddy with a kill against Braxco. Well played. Only 3 defenders remaining, and a good chance for the Buffalos to maybe pick up another one. Kane falls, and that might just be another point for them on the board if they can eliminate the final 2 defenders or just plant the spike.
Seconds remaining. They are going to creep towards that B-bomb site in from heaven, all 4 players. I feel like maybe just look safe here. It depends on what Rax gets done. In an advanced position in the tunnels. Here's them all around, and meanwhile the rotation coming through from Chris going to get taken down easily, and when the peek comes in, yeah, not a chance. See you later. Nice clean one from the Buffalos there. Really clean round. They survive with 4 players. And they've got 4 ultimates available as well, Kaldor, so a lot of potential to maybe start the ball rolling on their attack finally and string a few together.
Yeah, Lucka still has his op.
This is a nice spot. This goes
Vandals and Phantoms spot by the rest of the team. But that second point was important. And again, if the Buffalos can keep the gap small in score, then on the defender side, they should have a good shot here. And they really start, as so many other teams, to focus more and more onto B, go into the middle, see what they can pull off here, and then there might still be the rotation towards A. But it's interesting to note that they actually don't have a single player on A just now, so they definitely are going to make a commitment here, towards middle at least. A bit of a slow play, Incendiary comes down, and control that spot. Lucka again with the op, trying to find someone here. So far doesn't have a chance there, everybody else is towards his right. Wall comes down, Incendiary also on the ground. Actually, it's Phoenix who places it down here. There's another wall, and dodging away. Yeah, the mid-focus in every single game that we've seen so far on this map has been huge. Pylon opens it up with the kill as they are rushing towards the window, trying to break through here. Kane is down, but Chris again with his ult every single time. He comes in, is able to also get the kills out. Neddy countering right away though, but it's Valorando with Lucka and Rex who clean house, take the final attackers down, and put the 5th point onto the board. 3-point lead.
Yeah, a bit of a crazy one there, to be honest. There was a 2k from Chris, there was a 2k from Neddy, and then Rax comes in. It was all over the place.
That goes there.
Definitely have to feel for the observer on that, to be honest. There was a Hunter's Fury in there somewhere, I think, on the attacking side of things, but I'm not 100% sure. Crazy round. But it does go the way of Valorando, which, again, is really good for them. A lot of ordnance spent there by the Buffalos. They're opting to get aggressive in middle off the back of the orbital strike. Really nice stuff. Sure, they don't find any kills, but big information for Valorando early on.
Yeah. Initial move towards A, actually, and then they're now rotating back to B here. Raze already sniffed out. Needs to be very careful that he doesn't get caught. The middle is a bit open, though. And they're trying to use that to their advantage. The rotation towards A initiated again. Yeah, a lot of fluid moves actually now between the 2 bomb sites from the Buffalos. Really just trying to see where they have the best shot. And A still guarded by 2, but Lucka gets the kill against Helmsy over on B. Definitely a bit of a problem for them now. Okay, here comes the Tremor through. Still sneaking up the ramp.
The super scary thing here is the fact that Valorando, all their players have been so strong across the course of this series. As you can see, though, they are getting beaten out a little bit here. Huge pickups coming in from Pyron. It will be a plant as well, and now the remaining 2 Valorando players are in a bit of a pickle. Rax is here in quick succession. Looker moving down the ramp. Oh, they weren't expecting this player, though. I believe it was Looker who came from the ropes, and then 2 players just jumped straight up and catch them off guard. Nicely done by Buffalos to split the attack, kind of a double-pronged attack there, and they managed to get that 3rd on the round, on the board, sorry.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a problem now also when it comes to resources, because there's quite a few on the defender side that don't have enough for a full buy. Since all of them are just eliminated, they're actually going into an eco round now. So that might just be another point picked up by the Buffalos. And as I said before, I totally expect Valorando to come out ahead in this first half, since they're just so comfortable on the defender side in general, also with the agents that they play here. But if the Buffalos can keep this gap to a minimum, they have a really good shot in the second half to pull ahead. So every single point that they put on the board now is super important, and a 4th one at this moment would mean a lot. And they're trying to break through the attack here in the middle now.
Deploying drone.
Chris with the drone. He's gonna spot out at least one. Yeah, he turns to left. Yep, there it is.
Nice push in from Rax. I was going to say it's a very slow start to this round, but he takes the initiative. And I think the thing is as well, right, with playing this Cypher and having that spy cam, if you put it in similar spots every round, you might not spot people every single round, but then you kind of get a feel that actually they're not playing anyone in the B tunnels early on. I can get aggressive. Okay, Pylon once again. I think he died to that a little bit ago as well in one of the games earlier on. Really not sure of what happens with that aftershock. Definitely needs to learn, because he's died a couple times. Questionably from it. Look at though with the double spray down from behind. Flawless round coming in from Valorando. It's... oh man, it's so difficult here for the Buffalos. As soon as they seem to get a foot in the door, it's just like immediately slammed back in their face.
Yeah, that one hurts. That one hurt a lot actually, because as I said, this was a round that was, just when you looked at eco and at equipment, definitely winnable. Attackers had a bit of an advantage there, but it didn't go well, and now we have a 6-3 lead for Valorando on the defender side. So that was a big one. That was a big win for Valorando. Well, now that we're heading into the next one, of course, the attackers, there's a few Spectres actually on their side now too. We still have a Vandal here for Pion, so that's going to be important. Sage walked away with that. The AWP for Chris though, and that's a kill. First kill coming in, Chris with the AWP this time on his Sova. Yeah, there's the ult, hitting pretty much everybody, slowing them down. Chris with another kill. Helmsy at least got 1 counter, but it's a 4 versus 3 now. And they're still committed to A, and this is just spelling trouble. Already more vision granted, they know exactly where Sage is. There's a shock dart coming in, 23 HP, that's not a lot. Has the heal ready, but might not be able to use it. Has the time, but just as he was going for the gun again, Lucker breaks through the wall, takes Netty down. Pylon at least gives the counter kill. 2 remaining.
There's definitely a chance here.
Yeah.
There's definitely a chance. I'm not sure they fully recognize where these remaining 2 players are at. They definitely do now, though, with the trap wire coming through. And Pylon having to be really sneaky. It makes it very difficult to find trade frags. 1 versus 3 is going to pop the run it back, but immediately taken down. They know he's got to be somewhere nearby. I think they have a very big read on where he's at yet and going to be able to deal with him. So once again, Valorando coming out on top. Not quite as dominant as some of the rounds that we've seen recently, but still looking strong here. As we have come to expect from their defensive side, it's really, really good stuff from them. 4 ultimates available again. So another chance at picking up a round here.
Yeah, especially the running back there towards the end. They knew exactly where he was. There weren't really too many angles where he could have come from, so they had a good look at the rest and just needed to call it out. They did it immediately, so they already knew which corner he was hiding in. Quick kill, 7 against 3 now. Buffalos definitely trying here, but good reactions. And let's just look at the ults alone. We have a 4 available for Valorando now. There's only 2 rounds left in this half, so we're going to see those used very, very soon. Ray's already committing to her own ult, not getting a lot out of it, so that's a big problem. Yeah, and here we go. Laka coming in, calling down the Hellfire. They get 2 kills out of it. One because the player repositions and has to go straight into the line of fire. Second one through the ult itself. 5 versus 3 situation. Very, very well done here to initiate this 11th round.
Absolutely perfect stuff. And now, how do you recover it back? They do have a res available here in the hands of the Sage, of course. But already we're seeing a flank coming round towards the back end from A. Discovering that there's no one out at A. There's no one in towards the attacker spawn. More and more information, but Looker is all that's really needed, to be honest. He doesn't care about that information. He's just hitting his shots left, right, and center. 3k for him so far. Helmsy trying to find something, but gonna get tracked. Does deal with a bit of ordnance, I suppose, but ultimately it's just like wasting ammo, giving them more information. Has to group up with Neddy to try and pull this round back from the brink, but I don't think it's really gonna happen. I think they have conceded it. Yeah, no time. Unfortunately, they have like no control of anywhere pretty much, and I think once this time runs out, they are going to look to hunt here, and maybe a chance to survive, or maybe an ace for Looker. He will get taken down eventually, but a 4k coming in from him, a very big round, and Neddy falls in the end. So 8th round coming in, now into the final round of this first half of what could potentially be the last map of the grand finals. Buffalos are going to be struggling somewhat.
Yeah, and also, let's just point out real quickly, the last kill against Neddy was actually important, since as he takes Laka down, there is a chance that he picks up the AWP and secures it for the team.
True, so very true.
That was a really, really good kill for them. But this is the last round in the half, and we have 5 ults available. We have the Resurrect on both sides. Still got also all the information through Cypher, if he pops his. Ooh, talking about it. Pion with the insta-kill against Braxco. Damn. That was a quick one.
That's what you need to see, man.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen, to be honest. You need to get aggressive. You need to get in the face of your opponents. You can see the Hunter's Fury coming out from Chris. Has been very prevalent on it. Not going to find anything, in fact. I don't think he finds any damage at all. Pylon, meanwhile, has rushed out onto this B site. And, okay, here we go. Through the smoke. Usta giving Rax a taste of his own medicine. And we might just see them secure a bit of a round here towards the end. 5 on 3.
Yeah, it's looking good for them now.
Uh-oh.
And Kane giving us his Pylon 2 down. Double kill on both sides. The Resurrect. Neddy making it happen. Last man standing is Chris. 4 versus 1. This should be the round. Yes, Neddy secures it. He gets the final kill. And that's 8 points against 4 as we are entering the second half of map 2.
Cage triggered.
So we're going to get a quick recap of what went down in that first half. Really, really, really tough start, I think, for the Buffalos. Once again, we talk about how important these early rounds are, and you can just kind of see, as these replays come through, quite a few rounds go the way of Valorando before the Buffalos were able to get one back, right? And that was kind of the case the entire half. They maybe strung 2 together like once or twice, but didn't have the same sort of momentum that Valorando did, and it's really made the difference. But with things swapping over here, Buffalos, we've talked about Valorando's defense being really good, but Buffalos also had a pretty good defense, so we'll see what they can pull off.
Yeah, and this is really the moment to just show what they're made of. They need to bring this back if they want to have a chance to tie the score in this best of 3 and force the final map. They definitely have the tools to do that. So on the defender side, how can they actually hold this one down? Valorando is now attacking. They need another 5 points to secure this one. First round is going to be super important already. Bit of damage dished out. That's the first kill. Pion gets it against Chris. Nicely done for the defenders. But he's under heavy pressure as everybody just swarms in, and it is going to be a pistol battle over here. Another one coming through as Brax gets eliminated. Cypher is low as well. We have just utility flying everywhere. Cages up. The smokes are coming. The blinds too. But as the dust settles, it's a 5 versus 2 as Neddy gets another kill against Rax. Valorando falling a bit behind here.
Yeah, not looking too good. Low HP bars across the board as well. Look at 23 HP in a 1-on-5. Not going to happen. Flawless pistol coming through from Buffalos. That is exactly what they needed. A really, really, really strong start here to the second half. No spike plant even for Valorando. So really strong start for Buffalos. And it, in a lot of ways, economically, in terms of momentum, in terms of the morale and the confidence of the players as well. It's so, so important to get your foot in the door in the second half.
Yeah, big statement made by them right now. This isn't over. We're still here. We're going to bring this back. That's the statement that they needed, for sure. And now, of course, the second round. Valorando, again, going to try and pull something off here. We got a couple of really proper weapons on the other side, but nothing really bought for the attackers, it seems. There's no armor, at least, on Rax. He didn't buy a pistol either, so they're just playing this as stand as they can. Ooh. Any kill is a good kill right now. Rax gets taken down, though. Pion with the second kill against Laka. Netty, and this could be another flawless one, as the only man standing is Chris. And he is good on Sova, don't get me wrong, but I doubt that he's that good. No armor, no gun. Doesn't get a kill. That's another flawless round. But as I said, they didn't spend anything outside of utility.
Yeah, this here on the replay actually could have been a lot bigger, I think. If they'd have grouped up to do that, they could easily have overwhelmed that one player on the B-bomb site and at the very least gotten a spike plant. But it seemed like it was an afterthought, I suppose, from Kane. He didn't communicate that they could do that with the rest of the team. It just kind of depends circumstantially as well, because I think using the barrier orb behind another barrier that's already up, you can't really do it if the Sage isn't there. And how are they to know that Sage was going to do that on the B-bomb site? But definitely something to consider for the future.
As it stands, just simply having a spike plant would have been nice for them. Would have been a few credits. But this is, of course, a full buy for them right now. They gave up the second round in order to get enough credits for this one. But Pylan opens it up with a kill against Braxco. Kane at least responding in kind. Pylan with another one. Kane again with a reply. 3 versus 3 as they're moving on to B. Rotation of the defenders is happening. Spike so far has not been brought over. And one defender is still on the ropes. Waiting it out here. Pion the one to guard the spot. As the spike is now being taken. This is going to be a super important round here. Valorando walks away with the momentum from this point on. And they have a good shot of getting the double digits pretty quickly onto the board. But the Buffalos with 2 early rounds won in this start to sneak over to A.
The ropes. Rax has a lot of information to work with. There's no one holding ramp. They can definitely attempt to make it across here.
They all went to A. They're expecting a rotation here. Oh, a little bit of damage already done. But here we go. Clusters are in. The Roomba is also there. Gets taken down right away. Helmsy with a kill against Kane. Nice. Well done. Sage is also rotating over. Could get the heal in, but Pion takes Rax down. Chris eliminates Helmsy. 1v1 situation. Time's running out too. Ooh, not enough time to plant the spike anymore. It's on the ground anyway. It's the kill. Netty comes in and takes Chris down. Netty every single time he delivered on the first map, and he is delivering like a god on map number 2. 14 kills for him. Only Lucka ahead of him with the 19 on the side of Valorando. But look at that score, Scrave. 7-8.
Now bringing it all the way down to just a 1 round between them. It is so very close. And Valorando, as you can see, not the best of buys coming into it. A few sheriffs in a frenzy. But other than that, not a lot to write home about. Ordnance, you would have thought. See what they can get. They are going to put a lot of pressure in towards middle, so these players getting aggressive need to be careful. Braixco doubles his score as he picks up 2 frags. Moving up middle, obviously there's a lot of information now in for the defenders, but they've lost a key point of this map. It is such an important spot that so many teams try to battle for. The aggression does not pay off. The 2-for-2 trade, not going to work out for the defenders, because like I say, they lose the control of middle.
They lost the mid control. They still have 1 on the ropes here, so need to be a bit careful, but the attackers are falling back, trying to make the rotation over towards B. There's already the scout information, as we have the drone coming in, gets taken down by Netty. He's still holding the point for now. They move through the tunnel. But everybody starts to shift over on the map right now. They're holding the B spot. Everybody's here. Everybody's assembled. With one trying to wrap around a bit from behind here. The attackers, though, in a pretty decent spot if they can just evade being eliminated by Neddy here. This one's important. Here comes again, Sova, looking for the damage, the kill, nicely done, and Neddy with a hit against Kane, dodging out all of the damage. Follow-up kill, and the clean fight, Neddy with a triple, making it happen, and tying it up. What a setup again. The Buffalos on the defender side excelling right now.
Yeah, they are looking so good. Once again, we talked about the prowess of the defensive sides of both of these teams, and just seeing it on the replays, how simple it is looking right now for the Buffalos. They're trying their absolute damnedest on the Valorando side of things to fight back, but it's proving difficult. It's proving very, very difficult. Looker on this operator could be the difference maker. However, they have got a relatively strong buy coming in here. Going to group up outside of B for the most part, leaving Rax on that lurking position over at A.
Yeah, once again, Smokes just dominating over here. They're moving through B, though. Easy access through the tunnel. They're pushing through there. At least it seems like they are. A bit faster there. Okay, here comes the slow. One orb down. Second slow orb also on the ground. Kills are getting exchanged here. Nice! Neddy again with the kills. Finally eliminated two, but still an advantageous situation for the defenders.
Oh!
Revive the kill. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Braxco, on the other hand. Holy hell. That changed quickly. The revive first of all, then the double kill immediately against the attackers. But Braxco is able to get two of that situation and turns into a 1v1.
Up behind as well. No idea. The flash will come through, but I think it's mainly just like a sound bait kind of thing. Oh, the mind games here are absolutely huge, really. Started running off towards the A-bomb site, and Pyon is going to rotate silently through mid, sure, but the mind games from Braxco are absolutely perfect. He, at the very least, is going to get the split down. Going to get the spike down, sorry, but all the same, I don't know. He's low HP. It could be difficult. He needs to get into a decent post plant here as very, very quickly. The rotate coming back through. Is he going to opt to move up the ropes? No. He's going to hide below them. Will Pyon expect this? The boombot going in. Not going to spot him. He is so sneaky right now. Here's the steps coming through as well, but misses his opportunity slightly. However, no idea at all. It's planted for him as well. Knows that he's not on the bomb. Oh, but he doesn't creep back in fast enough. And Pyon will find him. Goodness me, it is a game of inches. It is a game of inches right there, but Pyon with a big clutch to secure the lead for the Buffalos.
Yeah, beautiful one. That was really well done. I mean, initially we had this insane exchange. Yeah, super chaotic on the spawn. The revive that comes in just a second later with a quick follow-up double kill that we saw from the defenders. Helmsy in particular gets the kill against Chris, and the follow-up afterwards, turning it into that 1-versus-1 situation that we saw play out there towards the end. But the result is the same. The Buffalos in the lead. They are taking the lead over Valorando in map number 2. Now keep in mind, guys, this is the second map. First map was won by Valorando, a best-of-3 series. So if this ends with a victory of the Buffalos, we are going to head into Haven as our final map. So we'll find out soon. Rax, as all of this starts, uses the Guardian, though, to get the kill. Turns this into a 5-versus-4. Yeah, good job by him, and a good start for the attackers. That's exactly what they need here. Get the quick kill and try to capitalize on it.
Have to make something off of this. They really do, and that's not the way to do it. Braxco gonna peek into middle, straight into pylon. The orbital strike will come through, and at least the trade is there off the back of it. Nice pickup from Looker. Nice play from him as well to peek out and spot if the Phoenix was gonna run away, making sure like the kill is 100% secured. However, we do have the Resurrect available here on the hands of Neddy, so definitely could bring it back into a 4-versus-4. Looks like they are going to move towards A, but they're moving very slowly on the Valorando side of things, and the rotation's starting to come through from the Buffalos. They are more than prepared for this, but again, the man advantage for Valorando is what we are looking towards.
Yeah, here come the kill though. Quick exchange. One down on each side, but the follow-up, Neddy again coming in, getting another one. just absolutely MVP for them, but he is all alone right now, trying to make his play. Comes in with a heal, tries to get another kill, gets one, turns it again into a 1v2, but this time we actually have Brax in position here. Luck actually it is, who takes the kill and puts another point onto the board for Valorando, and therefore another tie. This is going down to the wire here. Absolutely love it. Fantastic first half that we had. Valorando slightly ahead, but the Buffalos definitely showcasing now in the second half how strong they are on the defender side.
Yeah, I think it's down to the map, it's down to the teams themselves, and it's down to kind of just the way that the game is working at the moment with the ordnance. A lot of it is designed to slow people down and to keep people at bay. So obviously that is going to favor a more defensive mindset. But definitely is down to the teams. I think these two teams are particularly good on their defense as compared to a lot of the other teams that we've seen. Ooster going to take down Looker early on. That is a big name to be taking, and a nice confidence check as well. Some of these plays in towards mid from Valorando have been working really, really well recently. Nice Hunter's Fury coming through from both sides, in fact. Helmsy going to get one in the sewers. Big damage there in the middle as well. A little bit of a chunk onto two players. Forces the Sage to use her healing orb. Meanwhile, we're now into a 5-on-2. That seemed like a off-the-cuff decision there from Braxco to run in. Kane trying to pick up the pieces. Not going to happen. Down goes Chris. And immediately, as soon as Valorando are back on the board, we've got the Buffalos with a flawless round.
Big one. I mean, great setup right there, as you can see, and also beautiful kills that came through in the middle. A bit too aggressive maybe on Valorando's side. Easy capitalize from the defenders as they get the flawless round and the lead on this map. A total back and forth here the entire time. I mean, they are really neck and neck here. Yeah. Now the Buffalos in the lead. Goodbye for them. And we are going to see another eco round likely for the attackers. So if Valorando can just absolutely pop off here, the Buffalos should be able to pick up another point. It's definitely not going to be an easy attack, let's put it like this. But the aggression alone, if you can overwhelm someone on the point, you find a good entry, you just zerk them down a little bit and swarm him, then you can get that kill and maybe have a chance to slowly get yourself some weaponry. But as it starts with only pistols, this is going to be a tough call. We're able to buy some utility, that's all. They just didn't have enough for the proper buy. Good dodge on the blinds, and they're all funneling in. Pylon capitalizing with a double kill, but two are going down, and that's of course easy weaponry in the hands of Valorando. Now they might just be able to pull this off after all. Good trade for them, very good trade for them. But Netty, always Netty, the triple kill. Someone stop this kid for crying out loud. Unbelievable, he makes it happen again and takes them down single-handedly.
Yeah, looking so good there. Quick replay on this one as well, just lining them up on this corner. Fantastic stuff. I don't even think he realized, to be honest with you, but a great round on the Guardian. Absolutely fantastic, to be honest. He is so strong right now, looking great. 24 kills. It keeps getting better and better and better and better for Neddy, and therefore for the Buffalos. 11-9 now. Their defense looking so good here on Split. And again, Valorando, we did see a little bit when it came to Bind. Their attack wasn't so good. They're very good at Haven, but it seems the other two maps not quite as clear-cut, not quite as coordinated, let's say, and it is definitely showing here towards the tail end of this game.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, initially the trade was fantastic for Valorando in the last round. It finally gave them some weapons. They could just loot the two defenders that they took down, and then Netty just another day in the office. Like he's doing it every day. I mean, it just continues where it left off. Gets another double. Pylon at least chips in, says, dude, leave some for the rest of us. So he takes 2 kills as well. That leaves Rex standing as the last man for the attackers. And the Buffalos, they are pulling ahead as Usta takes the kill. 12-9. One more map, one more round is all they need to force the final map in this best-of-3 grand final. Beautiful stuff.
I mean, this is what we wanted, right? We wanted the competition. We did kind of want to see that third map as well over on Haven, which is Valorando's favorite map, quite clearly, from the performances that we've seen here. And it would be really fun to see what Buffalos can bring to them, as we've not seen them play Haven, in fact, right? We watched them play Split earlier on. But we'll see. Not quite out of this one as yet. We've got 3 rounds left to go, but Helmsy, he will take down one, almost lining them up there. Showstopper does nothing for Pion, and the res coming in as well onto Rax. This is definitely a good chance. They've got 3 ultimates still available to use here, and a lot of control on this A site. The spike going to go down at the very least, but it's a question of how they hold the site.
Yeah. But a good decisive round for them so far. They made the decision early, they decisively pushed in, the communication was good, the execution right there. 4 with 4 now, here comes Oldest, he's running it back, trying to go in for the kill, can't quite get it though. Braxco takes Helmsy down. Gustav with a kill against Chris. And here comes once again the Breach-Ult, Kaint and Lucka coming with the kills, and that leaves Netty standing in 1 versus 3. Good odds for him, actually. If the past few rounds have been any indication.
Certainly, he does have the res available as well. Picks up the head of 1. The second! No, why are we peeking into him? Oh god, he gets the heal off. Lucka, however, there's enough time for him to back away. He'll go down to the spike, but... Ooh, it's a little risky there. It is certainly a little risky. Didn't realize how far tick the bomb was, in all fairness, but Netty just doing great things. Unfortunately, not able to take the round, but money taken off of the Valorando side, which is big.
Yeah. And if you were wondering about his nickname, God is actually his last name. Netty coming in here. He's at 28 kills. Oh my god. Yeah, that kid woke up this morning, put on the backpack, and started to say, okay, boys, it's time to go for the carry. Netty just absolutely dominating this game. It's really crazy what he's pulling off here. 12 to 10 though, despite his efforts and the kills that he got in the last round, it was still a round won by Valorando. By the smallest of margins, they lost everybody. They still were able to pick up the round. They got the 3,000 credits, 3,300 actually, since they obviously also planted down the spike, so that was important. Pion, on the other hand, takes down Rax as this round starts. Another match point for the Buffalos as they're starting to move in. Pion with another kill. Drake's Rax go down, wants to go for the double here, gets another flash through. He's already calling some help over, but is eliminated by Kaint eventually.
Yeah, not the best of starts. Once again, Rax with a solo play over at A. Don't quite know why. Braxco does the same thing then at middle. Use this ordnance. Don't just go running in. Work together. That's what this game is all about. That's what the other tactical FPSs that some of these guys are known for are all about. So it is definitely raising some question marks. Oh, huge orbital strike coming in. That'll clear out the mid-angle, allows them to push into mail room. Kill coming in off the back of it as well, but the return orbital strike. In comes the peak, in comes the 2K, and there it is. Netty with the final frag. The Buffalos will take that second map, and we are going to need Haven to decide who the victors will be of our grand finals.
Yeah, you won't hear me complaining. Fantastic map that we just had. A lot of fun here. Absolutely fantastic for a grand final, and that we get the third map. Woo! The dream, baby. Here we go. Third map are coming out of the grand final. What a tournament. And I am so happy that we see these two teams go up against each other here. That entire game was a highlight. I am not envying the production crew as they are putting a highlight reel together. AKA, we're going to see a replay of everything that just happened. So let's go for it. The Vodafone highlight.
Okay, yeah, this is fair enough. I think this is a big 3K in total from Netty. He could have been in this slot, this Vodafone highlight, multiple times, to be honest. The one with the Guardian also very, very nice, in all fairness. But yeah, a really, really good game from him. Carrying his team through quite a few of those rounds, it has to be said. So definitely something to consider for Haven. And I think this is where it gets a bit more interesting, because like we have alluded to, Valorando are really, really good on this map, really, really experienced on this map. They clearly wanted to play it pretty much all the time in their best of ones, and won most of them. There was only the one that they dropped. So really scary time, I think.
Yeah, there's actually one thing to point out too. When we came into the series, the first thing that happened, or into some of the previous series, the first map that was banned out, if I'm not mistaken, by the Buffalos was actually Haven. Not sure if there is any indication of if they really like to play the map, if it was just against a specific opponent, or what was going on there. But as you said, we know for sure that Valorando is very, very good on Haven. It's one of their favorite maps right now, actually. We don't really know how true that is for the Buffalos, so the final map here is definitely going to be super interesting. Of course, before we head into the final map, we will let those players still just collect their thoughts a little bit, calm down for just a few moments, and talk things through. So we're heading into another short break. Again, the reminder that the Red Bull giveaway is still ongoing. So ! Red Bull in the Twitch chat is going to help you out there. With that being said, by the way, also make sure that you follow the Twitch chat, hit that follow button. Also check out the social medias that we have in the description of the Twitch description for you guys. And also you can, of course, follow the two of us at Kaldor and at Scriffcasts. Check us out on Twitter. Leave us some feedback. Again, if you want to hear us more casting Valorant and also working with Level, then definitely let us write us a message there. Send a message to Level Global too, and we're going to see you guys for map number 3, the final map actually in this grand final after just a short break. So see you guys in a few. I didn't know that it was done. Sorry, I thought instead of correcting myself, I thought I would just ignore it.
Yeah. Ready for the third map already, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're not the only one that's excited about the next game. Production apparently thought, you know what, break, screw the break. We're going straight in again.
I mean, fair enough.
With it.
I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I want to get into this Haven, man. I want to see what Valorando have got, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually also got some information during all of this, and that is that the Red Bull giveaway has a few more winners for today. So while we're actually waiting for things to shape up and for the lobby to be completely filled, I can at least let you know who won today. So we have Neumann, Nikon, Alpine Pilot, Blyet Man, good one there, Mystical Europe, Dixon, Cyber93, Miracles, Abu Aladin, and Tuarenon, who are the winners of the Red Bull giveaway of today. Couple of interesting nicknames, guys. Thank you very much for making me go through that. So I hope that I actually was able to stand the test here. Those were some fancy nicks name to pronounce, but yeah, so those are the winners for the Red Bull giveaway. I'm probably going to read those out later again just for everybody so that you guys know who won that. But now, for real, a short break as we are heading into it. Players aren't ready yet, so guys, we're not delaying anything. You're missing out on nothing. We'll be back with the third map in just a few seconds. Welcome back, ladies. Map number 3, the grand final is tied. It's the dream. We got the Buffalos going up against VALORANDO, and it has been a fantastic series thus far. And we get to cast the 3rd map. I'm definitely a happy panda. And yeah, I could cast another best of 5 with these boys, I gotta say. Every single map so far has been a blast.
Yeah, it's been so exciting. So exciting. Those defensive sides really effective from both teams. Again, just quickly to update you guys, of course, we are going into Haven, right? I'm sure you figured that one out. But VALORANDO will be starting on the attack this time around. So we will see if that has any benefits for them. I think on this map in particular, it might just, because their attack has been super effective. Buffalos are definitely going to have done a bit of research for sure, because otherwise they could very easily get caught off. We've seen a 13-0 from VALORANDO on this map and a 13-1 yesterday. So I think it's very, very scary if they're not prepared.
And the important part is really that VALORANDO usually excels here on the defender side to a huge degree. So you better pick yourself up a bit of a lead when they are on the attack. And if you don't do that, then you're in for a really, really tough second half. So for the Buffalos, that means that as the game begins and in the first round, they need to pick up as many points as they possibly can, try and get themselves a bit of a lead here. I gotta admit, though, we couldn't really cast the Buffalos yesterday all that much. We were very heavily focused on the lower part of that winner bracket and then later on, of course, into losers bracket. So we only today got to cast the Buffalos, and they played a very impressive style so far. And I really like how they outplayed, especially on the second map, VALORANDO to a huge extent here. I mean, Netty just popping off time and time again was beautiful to watch. So it's not only the Buffalos that have to be careful here. VALORANDO, they cannot underestimate their opponents for a second, or they're going to pay the price.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a really tough time. We just saw how effective the defense was there from the Buffalos as well, particularly from Netty, and he has a few things in his arsenal on that Sage that can make life very, very difficult to trade him back and, you know, to deal with him, to catch him off, that kind of thing. It's a very, very difficult agent at the moment to deal with. And the other thing is that he's absolutely popping off. His aim is sick, but that is a bit of a double-edged sword is what I want to come at. Not to be a negative Nelly here, but it does mean that Netty has to keep up this performance going forwards, I think, or another individual for the Buffalos has to come online to replace him on Haven. It's very, very hard to rely on those individuals for every single game, right? So hopefully he keeps it up.
Yeah, it's really a question of how long his calves are going to support all the carrying right now. If at any point he's starting to buckle, then someone else has to pick up the mantle here. And that's actually something where VALORANDO is really strong, right? Every time one of their players, you know, falls off a little bit, someone else steps it up. We've seen that time and time again. Yesterday was a very good example of that. We talked about it over and over again. Yeah, that last map, some beautiful plays that we had there. Netty, of course, popping off a lot, but we also had these consistent shots just from Laka himself with his off. Every single time he starts off with that, he gets one shot in after another, kill after a kill here. And I gotta call out both of the Brimstones here. We've seen some fantastic orbital strikes to just zone out an opponent, deny a plant, or simply allow the team to break through middle here. So utility from ults in particular has been fantastic in this entire series, and you can really tell what you can do with abilities and with ultimates in order to win around here. The game heavily centered around the gunplay, but there is so much that you can do with good utility and also ultimates.
Letting the plays speak for themselves, really. Some really, really nice ones, like we've said, but the ultimates, like you are talking about, are so important, and we've got some players on both sides who are extremely effective, particularly with the Hunter's Furies on both sides, once again, have also been very, very good. Not quite as impactful, I think, because, like, you can only really use it to find a kill on people that you know the location of, and even then it's a little inconsistent, but the Orbital Strike has so much potential. I think a few people underestimate it for sure, and we saw across the course of the tournament some people using it a little wrongly. That's not a word, but I couldn't quite find the word in my mind. You know what I mean, though? Like, they were trying to look for kills with the orbital strike when it should be used as a bit more of a zoning tool or a bit more of a clearing and angle out tool rather than, oh, I know there's a guy there, I'm just going to drop it in the middle of the map. And it's like, yeah, but he's got 4 exits to run away. And I think both the Brimstones in this game just so smart when it comes to that ordnance usage.
The beautiful thing also on the last map was simply how close it was. And yeah, the orbital strike gave great utility. We talked about all of these zoning tools that they actually had there at the end. This one was also quite beautiful where we had the double flash attempt and they just funneled through here. That was actually where the initial trade was a positive one for Valorando after all, but then it was really Netty with the big play. I mean, this one was probably one of my favorites. So yeah, it was just fantastic. He just comes in, gets one after another and picks it up for the team. I wouldn't have bet a cent on him before that. It's 3 versus 1 in this position. Of course, the rest of the team can still rotate in, but he just cleaned them out all by himself. And from here on out, it felt that it was an uphill battle for Valorando. They had a tough time coming back after that particular round was lost.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few key turning points in places, and Netty towards the tail end just keeping it up as well. So really, really good stuff. From both sides, but obviously more so from the Buffalos to take the victory in the end. A really, really good showing. I think if they can tap into that again here, it's still going to be so hard for them. Haven is such a good map for Valorando. I know I'm going to keep singing their praises on this map, but it's so true. We were one of the first teams or they were one of the first teams that we watched, and immediately I was just like, wow, this is stuff that I haven't really seen. Some of these camera angles from Rax, the way that he holds down A short is just so good to watch. It's so good to watch. And like I say, if Buffalos are not prepared, they could get rinsed here. They really could.
But here's the big question. With how much of a focus we had in our games on Valorando, they've now played Haven how many times on stream? 5 times? I mean, at least it feels like it.
Yeah.
So don't you think that that is a bit of an advantage now for the Buffalos, because they're going onto that final map and they know, okay, this is a team that loves to play on Haven. They're really strong here. At the same time, though, they have very likely done a bit of a VOD review, because it was likely that they would face off against Valorando at some point in this tournament heading into this 3rd day. If they have anybody else working with them, another player from a team that they're friendly with, maybe they have someone that acts a little bit as a coach here, even if it just is to give them information about other teams. If that's the case, then they definitely know a little bit what's now going to happen and what to expect here. Do you think that might play a bit of a role to their advantage?
Yeah, I think so, right? It all kind of depends on how they have reacted themselves, how they have worked themselves, in all honesty, and whether they have gone away and done that work. But the joy of being sat in that upper bracket for the entire tournament, right? They obviously didn't get knocked down at all on the Buffalo side of things. They have a bit more time to work with, so they could have watched some of the games live, then gone back and VOD reviewed moments that they were like, okay, this was a really nice setup, let's go with that. But then at the same time, we look at the Buffalos and their agent selection has been a bit different, and yet here we are, 3rd map of the grand final. It doesn't always come down to those agent picks, but no Cypher the whole way through is like none of the teams have strayed away from that Cypher, but these guys have, and yet they win.
Yeah, you talked a bit about that upper bracket, and this is exactly the road that the Buffalos have taken here. They took actually down the no-namers, which we also covered in one of the previous games, and Krass's team. Those are actually a few of the ones that we casted on the first day. So with that, they had a pretty good run there. The play against Philips Evangelium, there was the unlucky game where one of the players wasn't able to connect into the client. So there was a 4v5, and they made it into the grand final on the back of that. But of course, now facing off against Valorando, this is one of the teams where we really thought they will make it there eventually. Top 8 bracket is just reiterating that once again. Valorando initially actually sent down there by Philips Evangelion, but from there on, they took Krass's team down as well. They were able to successfully eliminate Funky Team Name. And then finally, the revenge match against Philips Evangelium. Still one of the highlights for me personally of today. That was just such a good series too. But the grand final, it's just topped all expectations. This is a beautiful thing when you come into a grand final like this. Sometimes you have a fantastic tournament, you go into the grand final, it's a 2-0 wipe, and you're like, well, that just happened, but it's the exact opposite. It's a dream final. We go to the last map, and every single one that we've seen so far was close. So yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be pretty hyped. I mean, I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, it's really difficult to call who's going to take it, who is going to get off to like a strong start. I think those early rounds could really make a difference. As we've talked about a lot of the time on Haven, actually, the early portion of each round is very, very important, particularly for the defense. If you lose an early guy, your defense is spread very, very thin. But the hype is definitely here. It's so hard to call between these two teams. They've both had really strong showings on the defense. There is this caveat, this question mark around the Buffalos. They'd like to stray away from Haven, and now that we're here, how are they going to adapt? How are they going to deal? Like we've said, there's an awful lot of research to work off of, but if you just don't like the map and you're not prepared as much, I mean, we've seen it from VALORANDO. I think on the first two maps, their attack was not very effective. They had not put in the same amount of work, clearly, to bind and split as they have to Haven, and it really, really showed. So maybe this is where VALORANDO can put all this practice to good use, and the Buffalos get caught off guard by some of their attacking games.
Yeah, I'm a little bit also interested when we're talking about the map now, what kind of role Raze is going to play here at this point, because you could definitely argue for, let's say, an A defense on her part, especially when you're looking towards short. She has, of course, the potential to easily shut any aggression down that comes through there. And with everything that we talked about in regards to Cypher, I really wonder how much of a push through A short on the attacker side we're going to see from the Buffalos after they've now time and time again see what Rax actually pulls off on that spot. Or at least if they make the play through A short, there must be some kind of thought process behind it where they are saying, okay, this is how we approach it. We bait him out somehow, or we just like try and bait him in. Again, we're coming back to that Omen play with the sound, trying to trap him, suggest, hey, here's an easy kill for you. He peeks, gets taken out by a second player. That could definitely happen here. So there's a few mind games that I would really love to see on the side of the Buffalos as they're attempting now to take the win. But yeah, it's going to be a hyped series for sure, especially since it is, as it turns out, two teams on the same level here. I gotta admit, coming in, I was a little bit afraid that the Buffalos would just get stomped out. And that was just bias on my end because we haven't seen the Buffalos that much. Yeah. We've seen VALORANDO. We've seen so many individuals just showcasing the skill that they have by pulling off individual double, triple, quad kills. But now that I've seen Neddy just absolutely going bonkers on two maps, that's another question. What do you think is going to happen on VALORANDO's side? Because they definitely have to talk about him, right? He has been topping off the kills on the board for both teams. I think he doubled nearly the kills of the second highest player on his team. How do they control him? Because he's a huge obstacle for them now.
Yeah, it's very difficult, I think, because not only is he playing really, really well and the aim is there and hitting all his shots, big clutch moments, not just like consistent 1 or 2 frags, but actual like multi-frag rounds that are really, really nice. He's also on the Sage, and I think where the trouble comes in for VALORANDO is it's very, very natural, I think, for pretty much everybody playing a game like this, that you see someone, your teammate dies to him, you want to chase after that person, you want to get the trade frag and even things back up and get the revenge and take someone down, all that sort of stuff, right? There's a lot that comes into it, but someone like Sage is so hard to lock down. She may well have the wall still available, the slow orb, she's got 2 of them, the heal. It's very difficult, I think, to chase after and get the trade frag. So I think that's a lot of the difficulty, and maybe they need to rein it in and be like, okay, Sage is playing here, we discovered that on round 1 or 2. They will have to try and avoid that bomb site, or, you know, try and get an early pick on her, or try and bait out some of her ordnance rather than rushing in when she's still got all of it available. Let's take a peek, do some damage. There goes the heal, there goes the wall, maybe, right? And then wait another 20 seconds. This is the issue with the wall. It lasts a long time, but spray it down, whatever it may be. I think certainly we might see some adaptation in that sense, because a lot of it, like I'm saying, it comes down to the agent pick from Neddy, combined with the fact that he is popping off here.
Yeah, especially on C, what I really liked in Haven, when you have a Sage set up on the defense side, was just to play to try and, well, abuse that fact, if you so want, that she's trying to hold the side oftentimes alone with the wall set up on C long, that you boost your own team over her wall. We've seen that play now made, I think, once or twice during the tournament, and always with huge success. That's something that we could definitely see. If not for that, then trying to avoid her a bit might just be the key here, as you already pointed out. So that's an option that they have too. But these plays with the walls would definitely be something that I would like to see a little bit more on both sides, not only for the defense side, but also just like the boost over the opponent. Then again, you would assume that they already are kind of aware of that possibly happening and would try and prepare for it. And then the slow ops that you already pointed out, they come into play too, right? So if you pay attention to that side, you see the boost over, you get the slow ops in, just like try to fall back, and then you can still go for the retake on side. But yeah. One thing that I'm hyped for, well, probably the most right now, is the first round, because we saw incredible aggressive play in the pistol round. And I just want to see that shootout again that we had. I think it was on map number 1 or map number 2. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, they always get a bit crazy, the pistol rounds. Everybody running into each other and grouping up and just barreling on through onto a bomb site. But yeah, I think it's going to be a little harder for Neddy to have as heavy an impact, because obviously this map is a little bigger than the other two. More bomb sites coming into play as well. We are focusing, an awful lot on him. Maybe someone else needs to come up. I think Helmsy on the Sova was looking really good. Some nice Hunter's Fury placements from him. And again, I'm really liking Sova at the moment as a nice balance between information gathering and damage. Really hoping that they can pull something off effectively on that Sova as well. But yeah, I think we can look to the other end of things in terms of the scoreboard. Like, for me, something that really stood out was Braxco, who has had a great weekend so far. Really dropped off on the last map, and I think, I don't like to point fingers, it's always a bit difficult, but sometimes you have to. I think he was maybe 6 or 7 frags for him. I'll just get the score up here. Yeah, so he was kind of dropping off a little bit, not a great deal in that second game, and I think that's something that he personally needs to work on. And I think what we did see a little bit of as well on the Valorando attacking side was like some of these players just running in on their own, not quite as coordinated. You can argue trying to start something, trying to find an opening frag, but I feel it would be a lot better, particularly, again, in this game when there is so much ordnance, group up and use it effectively and then push together rather than one by one and giving away free kills.
I think it was especially transparent on the first map on Bind when we had multiple approaches towards B side where they just were not in sync, where the coordination wasn't quite there. You saw smokes coming down. They came a second too late, which allowed an open line of sight still for the shooter, taking everybody down. Neddy capitalized several times on that as he was sitting in the corner waiting for them to funnel through the window, and he got kill after kill simply because the smoke hit him a second too late. That's something that didn't really happen on the previous day, where they were just always exactly on the same page. And it's a small thing. I feel like they really, I don't want to say they solved it, but it got a lot better from map number 1 to map number 2 very quickly. Even though they lost the second map, it looked a bit more coordinated on their part. But there's definitely a couple of hiccups every now and then that they didn't show to that extent yesterday that were now there today. Hopefully for them, going into map number 3, that's something that we're able to just like smooth out. But that was definitely a bit uncharacteristic given the performance that we've seen yesterday from them.
Yeah, definitely. I think it kind of comes down to the pressure getting to them, a little bit of stress, a little bit of feeling. Again, when you're not performing as well as you would like, you do kind of get a bit desperate and make some of these overly aggressive plays, which then just kind of makes things worse. You get a bit more tilted and angry at yourself or someone else on the team. So I think certainly it does need a bit of like reining in, and they've had quite a bit of time here. Obviously, we're trying to get this lobby and everything set up to get everyone in, and there the beautiful words in our ears that everything is pretty much ready. So we should be into this third and final map pretty quickly. But yeah, I think that needs to be checked, is this kind of mental fortitude from all these players to make sure that they don't start making silly little mistakes again.
Yeah, as we pointed out previously, there is obviously a lot on the line here. Thankfully, that prize pool that we're talking about, those $10,000, they are split very much down to team number 16, which is absolutely amazing for the players investing this much time on the weekend here. But there's still a huge chunk of money for the first place. $5,000 in total for the first team and $2,400 for second place. So that's quite the difference here. So you really want to focus now for map number 3 and really bring your A game in order to lock that down as quickly as you can. And we're currently looking at the agent selection, so we'll jump into the third and final map of this grand final in just another moment. The two of us are already super excited. We had a fantastic weekend here. It's It's a little bit sad that it's going to be at an end after this map. These are two teams that definitely deserve to be in the grand final. They had a fantastic run thus far through the winner bracket, through the losers bracket. VALORANDO has made it work. Got even the revenge against Philips Evangelion, of course, earlier. And the Buffalos just stampeding through the upper part, able to set themselves up as the first participant in the grand final and showing their claws now on the second map, bringing it all back to that final map, turning the entire thing pretty much into a best of one if you so want.
Yeah, basically, that's kind of how you have to view it, right? Don't dwell on your performance on the first and second map and the mistakes that you made, things you could have done better, etc., etc. Just come into this clean slate and go for it, right? Play it like you've been playing, particularly for VALORANDO, every single Haven across the course of this weekend, apart from the one that you lost. But you get the idea, right? You get the idea. You have to come in with a clean mindset and make sure that you have your head in the game. And this is a real test, because I think these guys are going to be around for a little while, really looking to transition into Valorant. Of course, we're going to be running so many tournaments here on the Level global channel, so hopefully they will be jumping in the future. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we're heading in.
Good news. Hopefully we should be in the game pretty soon. It's been a little touch and go here, but thankfully not too long on the delay. All right, awesome. Here we go into the third and final map, folks.
And here we have it. The Buffalos, ladies and gentlemen, against VALORANDO. Their series is tied. The best of 3, the grand final. It is going to be amazing. The Level Valorant Clash heading into the final map. The Buffalos starting things off as the defenders, whereas VALORANDO is on the attacker side for the first half. Played fantastic here in the past. Haven't seen too much Haven yet from the Buffalos. VALORANDO, of course, they excel on this map. This is a very good one for them. But what do the Buffalos have in store? And how much did it help them that we had so many games of VALORANDO already on stream? Could they get some important info that they can exploit right now? We'll find out as the first round starts up, and it seems that VALORANDO is making their approach towards A.
I like this. So A, the camera has been taken out, and B, they're kind of reading into the fact that VALORANDO, they like to group up towards the A mid kind of side of the map early on into these rounds. So we've got an early push down C. There's no one around, and I think they're eventually going to start to edge forwards, pull off a quick flank. Looks like the hit will be the A bomb site itself, and timing going to be everything here. I don't think they expect this flank so very quick. Pylon, though, out in the open. Got to be careful getting these dark covers in, which is very nice, I suppose, but really does need to be careful. In comes the fault line, going to stun him up, but Helmsy in with the rotation already. Think will take down one. The bomb plant should come through, but it's this quick flank from Long. Are they going to be ready for it? Maybe it's not quite fast enough. In fact, 4 versus 4 coming in. Low HP bars for the Buffalos across the board.
Exactly, they're pretty low here. At least we could see Sage healing one of them up, but Sova is still a bit low. The wall is already on the ground here. The retake attempt now from the defenders. Buffalos fighting it out, but Chris with the kill against Osta. That's another big one for them right now. 3 versus 3 though, as Pion takes down Laka. Good kill from him, but the follow-up as Neddy comes through and takes Kane down. The defuse attempt already. Is trying to go for it, trying to set it up, and there's the win. That's the Buffalos taking the first round on the final map of the grand final.
Yeah, pretty damn close. Comes down to the 1 versus 1, but unfortunately not planted for those players who were over at Heaven, so it makes it very difficult. And I think there was an awful lot of noise going on, bit of a sensory overload, right? So they weren't sure if they were on the bomb or not. Looking at Chris, he didn't really get super aggressive to try and deny the defuse. So a bit of a shame there, but that's the way that it turns out, and it will indeed be the Buffalos starting on the defense, obviously, with that pistol on the board. Nice start for them. Should be able to get the second here as well, as it's not the best of buys, of course, just the save coming in from VALORANDO. I think there's a frenzy in there, and that's it. Yeah,
exactly. And on the defender side, we have 1 Vandal, we got a Bulldog, and we also have a few Spectres. So they definitely have the weaponry for this one. And Pion already taking good use of that Vandal. Moving in with a kill, gets the second one as Laka falls, and they're just outgunning them here. Fighting also for the ultimate orbs at the same time. Braxco gets at least the kill against Raze. That's an important one. She had the Vandal. Vandal on the ground here, but he can't get it as Neddy is coming in with another triple kill, taking Kane down too, and securing them the second win on this map.
Really, really good stuff once again. Cleaning up house, as we come to expect, but all the same, it's nice to get off to a strong start and not be making any silly mistakes, making sure that they are all out of your system before you get into the key rounds. And this is one of them. Very early on, Looker going to be on that operator. 3 Vandals and a Phantom. Meanwhile, there's a couple SMGs and a Bulldog remaining over on the Buffalo side of things. So Valorando got a good chance of just maybe beating them out on the weaponry front. And an opening pick.
Yeah, quick one here. But as we've been talking about this, Valorant really excelling on the defender side. So for the Buffalos, it's important to establish a bit of a lead before the halftime if they really want to have a proper chance to bring this one home. So it doesn't really surprise too much that they're able to do initially quite well here. But Valorando, they have to at least keep the gap as close, as narrow as they possibly can. So for the time being, a little bit of a smaller poke, but that initial kill was, of course, already highly important here, as the attacker's team is now slowly creeping over to A, which is not really all that well protected. There's only one trying to cover short, and that's about it.
Pylon, he's got to be so careful here. It's a key position to be holding. Like you say, the only one on A at the moment. It's really, really important he doesn't go down for free.
Good
manages to pick up the frag. That's pretty big, and it calls for the rotations as well to come through. He gets another before he falls. Wow. That's massive.
Yeah, that second kill, the first one already was great. The second one was fantastic. So now we have a 3 versus 3 situation, but they need to go for the retake. And Kane comes in, taking Usta down. So far, so good. Turning it all of a sudden into an advantage for the attacker side. Again, Valorando with 3 on the board. Haven't taken down Neddy yet. Oh, the res! Awesome. 4v2 situation now. Nicely done. The ult and Pion with a kill against Laka. Nice. Counter kill though. Neddy eliminated as Chris gets the kill. 80 in HP. The only thing that we have remaining here for Raze. Not really a good situation for Pion at all. And he hightails it out of there. Saying, alright, running out of time anyways. Let's just save the weaponry for now. And fall back. First point for Valorant on the board now. Yeah, clutch as well. Barely able to get away from this one.
And it's quite important, actually. I think Chris had picked up the operator. That's why he was lagging behind a little bit, which they wouldn't have been able to afford one here to give to Looker. And very important for them in the previous round. He found the open pick at the start of the ball rolling. So a really, really important pickup.
2 versus 1 now in the grand final. Ton of money on the line here. Buffalos with the lead. Valorando to go for the attack again. This is their map. This is the map that they felt at home at for the entire tournament. Every single time you saw them in the lower bracket, it was all about Haven. Haven, Haven, Haven. The Buffalos, they could do a lot of odd reviews here if they had the time to do it, if they had someone helping them out. Here comes the play with the wall that allows Chris to go straight up for the AWP. And he's already starting to go straight for the kill. They're trying to break through, making a little bit of noise over on C, as the rest of the team is still sniffing out opportunities in mid and towards A. Good high ground position now, of course, also. Still holding on to the choke point there. 5 versus 5. 1 minute left. Starting to make the decision slowly. To move away from A, getting over to C.
I have dropped the spike.
Spike gets passed over as well. And we still have Chris on Sova, setting it up. Double checking on A. 2 on A still. Those have to rotate very quickly. Nobody actually sniffing out that move on C. They're absolutely clueless at this point. And they're starting to move in. Nicely done. But Kane takes down Neddy. Neddy going straight in. That Spyro takes down, but Usta with the double kill. Holy hell! What just happened?
He just keeps going. I don't know. They just walk straight into him without even getting the spike down. I think definitely needed to get the spike down before they went for that peek in towards the defense there. I don't know, man. I mean, credit where credit is due from Usta, but they didn't need to do that, right? They had the control of the site that they needed. They took out Neddy relatively easily, plant the spike, and then back off towards long, maybe into garage. You don't need to push into that area. But again, it's something that is a little natural for these players with some of the titles that they come from to keep the aggression up. And unfortunately, it cost them there a massive, massive turnaround from Buffalos.
Yeah, that was unexpected. I mean, they did such a great job, just like waiting patiently, finding the opportunity on C, pushing in the quick kill against Neddy too. So that was fantastic on there, and then it all turned so quickly. But well done by the defenders, of course, and that's the lead now for them. 3-2-1 on the board. Valorando, they need to find an opening now. Yeah, ult is ready, as we can see on the defender side for Sage, for Neddy. And still the approach, still trying to make the play over here towards A this time. A long, 2 defenders on A. Starting to slowly push in for that. Waiting for the rotation over here. Through B, a little bit of a peek. Window currently completely empty. Nobody there on the left side. That's a different story though. Right around the corner. The hit comes in. And the double. Braxco taking Omen down. And Laka against Helmsy.
Really well done there. This is the difficulty of not having the Cypher or even utilizing the Sova effectively with the drone, right? You don't get free information, so you're relying on Valorando to give you that information by making noise, by dropping ordnance. So what they do in this round, they take a bit of a risk, sure, because they could easily just walk straight into someone, but by walking and not making any sound, they catch the A defense completely off guard because they have no information to work with.
Yeah, Valorando now with a really good position on A. Buffalos letting that slide. No plan to push in. Take it easy. Just say, okay, let's save the weapons. We won't be able to take this one. Thrifty, there we go. So 3 against 2 points. And one of the things that we definitely should probably point out here as we're looking at the 6th round coming in is that they switched up the lineup. So we actually see Omen now instead of Phoenix. We haven't that pointed out on the agent side just yet. But they adapted a little bit to the map and went away from those Phoenix plays. Pylon this time with Omen. First the teleport's ready too, trying to go for a bit of a more sneaky one. Big map for them, of course, with 3 bomb spawns. Alright, same time now. Again, the push through the middle a little bit. Here comes the shock dart. A-Long is getting attacked. Raise over on C in this case. Here comes the ult as he's trying to get the quick kill in. Sova with a play attempt. Connected a bit of damage there, but Chris could not get a kill yet. A-Long still getting attacked now too. The attackers again attempting to sniff it out. Slowly here. Baiting, of course, out some of the utility as well. If they can bait out some of the smokes, for example, it would be great for them. 14 seconds is how long they last. Brimstone smokes, at least, that is. And A apparently is again the focus of attention for Valorando. 2 points.
Yeah, this is what they like. This is what they like to do, right? Spin around and move across the map. It's why they really like Haven, I think, because it is so big and because you can keep the defense guessing all the time with these sort of fake plays and a bit of ordnance being used. But again, really well done here from the side of Buffalos to push this player down long on C and get so much information. The Rolling Thunder going to come through, though. Neddy far enough away. No, it actually does hit him up at the very last proc. However, it doesn't matter so much, or maybe it does. Oh my goodness. It's spun around all of a sudden. Racks in with the flank as well. Down goes Helms. He's stuck in that Hunter's Fury animation. And now all going to be on to Pion on this raise. Gets one, but the bomb is in between sites. What's the plan here? They've only got 13 seconds. Got to get it down. And okay, it kind of works out. If Pion had pushed up in towards A from the long position, I think it really could have flown by the wayside, but not going to be the case. So Spike now down, and Pion with a bit of a reposition. Can he catch the players off guard here? I'm not so sure. He has very little information to work with. We'll check this left-hand corner. Picks it up onto Rax. Now all down to Looker on the other side of things. He will peek round and he'll find the quick headshot. Just about clutching it out for Valorando.
Yeah, and that was not off to a good start. Absolutely not, because we saw a pretty cool kill on the minimap too, where Pylon was waiting on a short, on a corner where you normally wouldn't really expect him from the attacker's perspective. And as soon as, I think it was Braxco pushed in there, he got an easy kill against him. That started everything off. And then Valorando just absolutely popped off for a second or two and equalized the situation on the map. And then, of course, towards the end, Raze with a really nice approach as Pion was trying to make the play there. but he gets caught towards the end in the 1v1 situation. So now it's a tie in this series, and we still have Valorando on the attacker side. The strength is on the defenders, as with so many teams right now. A little bit of a poke again, and also Fox in the middle, and Lucka getting the kill. Braxco another one, double kill. Netty can at least revive one of them, but it's still a 5 versus 4.
Yeah, looking to speed things up here on the Valorando side. Orbital Strike does come through, going to split them up somewhat, but doesn't matter too much. They are so aggressive right now, just in the face of the Buffalos, catching off 2 more players. 4 versus 2 now. They are going to try and go for the retake. The spike goes down. There's the Raze Showstopper available, but yeah, so much utility up top, keeping them back. And of course, the Sage Wall being annoying, giving away the position that they're now around. I think it's going to be so hard here. All going to be onto Pion. If he can find a frag with a rifle and then maybe swap across to that rocket launcher, it could be massive. But as you can see, they're just respecting the fact here on the Valorando side. No peaks coming in, not getting overzealous, not giving the advantage that they have away, and brilliantly played by them to secure a 4th round.
Time alone is not working out for them anymore, so Buffalos falling back again. The 4th round save for Valorando, the 4th point. Well done here. Great final map, really fantastic. Once again, super close between the 2 teams here. Consistent back and forth, but very important, again, for Valorando to get all these wins in right now. They are usually so strong on the defender side, and if the Buffalos... I mean, if honestly, if the trend right now continues and Valorando moves into the second half with the lead, then the Buffalos have to completely pop off and dominate on the attacker side to turn it around. And it's so difficult to make that happen against Valorando, who have just played such a strong defense on this map, especially around Brax with the Cypher, always holding down the E-spot pretty much by his... the A-spot pretty much by himself, which allows the rest of the team to focus a lot more onto C, onto B, and have a very strong setup there.
It's a very good point. It is a very good point. Early aggression coming in, though. Pion has been loving the aggression. Manages to get one, but going to get slowed down here. Going to be tough for him to get away. He does manage it, but on low HP.
Yeah, he needs to see that heal. He's hopefully going to pick it up soon. Depends a little bit, of course, where Netty is currently positioned with his Sage. Not close enough, it seems. There it is. Heal comes in. I'm going to be fine for now. 5 versus 4. Spike starting to travel. Oh, good kill. Pion with another one. Move back into position. Gets a kill against Chris. Eats another shot as well. Back down to 26. The heals are soon going to be there again. Cooldown should just be ready in a few more seconds. But the counter kill. Omen down. But Netty follows up. 4 versus 2. Valorando definitely struggling here a bit. Spike still on the way. Towards B, towards C. Lucka's coming in with it.
Definitely not looking good, though, here, is it?
No, not really.
Really tough.
I mean, where do you move through right now? Garage is being held. B as well. There's a kill. Pion picks up the 3rd kill in this round. And now we have Brimstone as the last one standing. Lucka at least gets a kill in. He has the time for the plant. The plant alone securing them the extra credits. Everybody funneling through spawn. Which is exactly what he is expecting. Gets the kill.
Great angle.
Lucka trying to come in from behind. Uses the smoke to his advantage for a moment. But Netty isn't fooled. Takes him down. They can go for the defuse. But again, 300 additional credits for each member of the team thanks to the spike plant. Already worth it. Good play by him here. Getting the extra kill was pretty much all that he could realistically get. But very good. Very nice try from him.
Yeah, Buffalos, though, going to need to start stringing them together off the back of that one. Valorando just got 3 in a row, as you can see from the scoreboard. Once again, shout out to Zilv for all this information, making life very easy for us at the moment. While pretty much impossible, I think, for you and I to get into the spectator client plus an observer, right? So
I don't really envy his position at all. Currently, this is still a closed beta, and the observer UI is obviously not a high priority for Riot, which is absolutely understandable for an early beta. But guys, I can't highlight how stressful it is to observe at this point. You can already tell on the minimap that we don't know which dot equals which agent, and the hotkeys also don't always correspond to the agent that you would expect to be there. So it sounds very easy that you have to click a couple of buttons, but believe me, having tried to observe quite a few games myself by now, it is currently a nightmare. We are all waiting for a big new patch coming through that makes the observer phase a little bit more, well, gives us a bit more information, has more resources for the casters, but also makes the life of the observer himself a bit easier. Yeah, so big shout out to Sil for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so during that action, we saw a kill come through from the Omen, then the Res here on the side of Valorando. Like I said, it's very important for Buffalos to start stringing some rounds together. We've seen how proficient Valorando are on their defense, so going to need to get a few more rounds, but Chris has got other ideas. The Orbital Strike going to come through as well to stop those rotations from B. C-bomb site secured, Spike going to go down easily enough, and a 5 versus 3 retake for the Buffalos. Not looking easy at all.
Yeah, currently this series is tied again, but this seems to be the lead for Valorando in this 9th round of the first half. Moving, and as you can tell, it's all about the save again. It's really what I love currently. The players are willing to risk. We've seen incredible plays on map 1, map 2, so they know that they have the individual talent to really just pop off, get a double, maybe even a triple. But if there's no real need, if they're not really forced to go for something yet, then they oftentimes just play it safe, fall back. There's a lot of line right now. This is the last map. Any mistake that you make is going to be maybe even your last one. Ursta, on the other hand, gets the kill against Chris. He himself is getting eliminated too. There's the follow-up. Neddy goes down as well. Let's be honest, doesn't get any better than that when we're talking about Valorant winning the round here. And we're actually going to jump into a quick replay as well, to give you guys a bit of an idea what happened here.
Yeah, pretty big round from Chris, particularly. Once again, abusing this fact that it's very difficult for the Buffalos side to find information without sticking their head out and risking it getting taken off, right? So what happens in that round? Chris walks up long, gets himself a nice position in, and finds 2 relatively easy frags. So again, abusing the fact that there's no information coming in, and it's a real problem for Buffalos.
And defenders not with a full buy on all sides. So they're a little bit split right now. We had a full buy for, I think, 2 players, but on the other hand, one of them just walking around with a pistol right now. Definitely something where you can get a kill and maybe sneak or steal the weapon away. But there is an advantage for Valorando now. And at this point, Brexco comes in, takes Pylon down. Omen just not able to make a dent in this attack. This aggression that we're seeing from Valorando, at least not up to this point. But Valorando is really riding that momentum train hard. Alright, moving in again. This time on C. Slowly rotating over there. There's still 1 defender on A. 2 guarding C. As the position is slowly getting pushed. Bit of a staring battle that we have also at the double doors in the middle.
I suppose this is the way that they adapt on the Buffalos side, right? Because they don't have the information, they opt instead to put more people on towards C. However, the Rolling Thunder going to be a nice distraction. Neddy is caught in between a rock and a hard place, so he will get taken down. This is so good from Valorando on the adaptation. I think they have really realized how they can abuse the fact that we can draw some attention to A with some early action, and then slowly rotate across to C, and they have no idea because they don't have a deep camera C long. They don't have one even in mid that highlights that there's no one mid. They're left guessing a lot of the time on the Buffalo side of things, particularly, as we've talked about with Haven, when their defense is spread so thin. When they lose that opening pick, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah, and now we have a quite substantial lead actually for Valorando, because they look at it at 6 points against 4. There's not enough resources for everybody on the side of the defenders to go for a full buy. You can already see that Neddy actually goes into a judge right now. So he is actually willing to play the close quarter fight here. Outside of that, it's a double sheriff, a frenzy, and I think a stinger was the last one that came in here. So they don't have a lot of resources. They got good weaponry. If Valorando overextends a little bit and rushes in too quickly, then that can backfire. But if they play the slow, long game that we've seen from them now time and time again, then they should have the upper hand in this round. So the Buffalos better be ready for a hell of an attack in the second half, or they're going to have trouble taking this one over the time.
Right, here we go. Bursting in as they will try and catch them off guard on C once again. Ion will manage to find one. Oh, Showstopper just denied. That could have been huge. A key frag picked up by Looker.
Talking about Showstopper, right?
Yeah, literally.
Stopping the show before it even started. So, yep. There we have Chris with the kill against Helmsy, but that could have been big. If that ult goes through, if Raze is able to get that rocket launcher and play, that could have been a double kill maybe. Oh, Usta on the other hand, nice! Gets the kill against Lucker, but he gets taken. 1v1 situation, and Braxco takes down Pylon as Omen pretty much didn't have a lot of hit points left. But you gotta give some credit where credit is due. Given the weaponry that they had, it wasn't too bad by the Buffalos. They lose the round, but they also take down a lot of the agents on the attacker side, so that makes them dig deep into their pockets for additional guns and give some additional money over to the Buffalos themselves. So now, more or less a full buy ready for them. Pile the last one to pick up some weaponry, 6,100 credits, so an easy one. Goes for Vandal and the armor. But this one is the last round. Last round in the first half. 7-4, that's the lead. This could be an important win for the Buffalos to maybe bring it back on the attacker side.
Nowhere to run!
Oh, okay. Hunter's Fury popped across the map. And although Sova shouts out nowhere to run, it seems there's quite a few areas to run because no one taking any damage. Nice start lineup for sure from Chris, but I think at this point it's becoming quite telegraphed. It's floating all the way through the air. They know exactly where it lands. He's used it quite a few times. Oh, look at this though. The creep in from Ooster, able to catch off Looker, and Braxco taken down as well. A huge solo play in the middle will eventually get dealt with, but it leaves Valorando in a tough spot.
It definitely does. 4 versus 3 situation now, trying to just wallbang this one. But that's a good one. Again, this would be an important win. It's going to be tough enough to go up against Valorando on the defender side in the second half, so Buffalo's better put another point onto the board now before the switch, or it's going to be super rough. Netty is now coming in, takes down Chris. But it honestly leaves us with an interesting point too, because we talked... Ooh, Pylon. Hello, sir. Yeah, there it is. 5th point. We're going to take a quick look at the replay as we're getting ready for the switch, of course. Yeah, Usta with a triple kill over here. We got a couple of really spicy rounds coming in. I mean, this one was also a nice one, but towards the end it was Brimstone making the play. As we can see here, moves around the corner, gets it. Lucker with a round secured for the team, and this here on the final one. A nice early start for the defenders with that double kill here. But coming back to the point that I wanted to make before that, you talked when we were in between games a little bit about what happens when Netty doesn't just turn on the God mode, right? And by no means has he played a bad game here on the 3rd map. But it's far from the performance that we've seen him pull off on game 2. So it kind of shows a little bit. This is missing. They need someone to step up and make those plays that we've seen in this last round with the initial double kill.
Up middle then, nice and quiet. However, the info comes in off the back of the recon bolt. Braxco will take down Pyorn. And now an advantage for Valorando early on into this first half of their defensive side. Looking pretty good. Rax, of course, showing us all those neat little camera angles. They're happy to leave him on A, at least in the early portions of the round. And the Buffalos hit a bit of a brick wall here. They're not quite sure where to go.
And this is exactly what we've seen now time and time again. Rax, he just dominates that A short spot. He's honestly the king of that little mini dungeon over there, and every single time someone tries to pick in against him, they just die a painful death eventually. Valorando is super strong on Haven on the defender side. The Buffalos have to break through that. They really need to find an opening here, but at least in this first round to set things up, they are struggling. 3 versus 5, they need a kill, they need it quickly. They don't have a lot of time here. Comes in the side. Spike is moving into. They need to plant that one down, trying to secure themselves those extra credits. There's the channel. Pylon takes Lucker down. That was an important kill for sure. Spike is also on the ground, so that's at least a few credits secured. 3 versus 4 now. Waiting for the pushing here.
I like the camera.
Netty!
What?
Just when we talked about him! Oh, he gets the hit to the head, but oh my god, like, you can never count him out. Like, never. Just talked about him a second, and he comes in with a triple kill and nearly turns it around. Just look at that action from him. He lines them up. It's like shooting fish in a barrel for him at this point.
Oh,
brutal.
Yeah, I'm still, it's such a shame they don't win that round. That could have been absolutely massive if he'd have pulled it off. Thank goodness the rest of the team are not quite on the same level, for sure. But one for the highlight reel, as I always say. Unfortunately, however, it is Valorando to be picking up the pistol and getting off to a nice, strong start into the second half. They're up against the Sheriffs again. Buffalos, they like to go for these Sheriff buys. They've got to make good use of it. It's a nice 1-for-1 in at middle, but like I say, got to get the spike plant at the very least. Maybe a couple more kills as well, because it's more expensive than they realize, I think.
And that 1-for-1 was a really positive trade for Valorant 2. They took Netty down. That's the first step to victory. They identified the problem. Trade a 1-for-1, sacrifice one of your players for Netty, and you are in a good spot there. The key to winning the game for the Buffalos? Simple. Clone Netty and then go for gold. No, but all jokes aside, 4 versus 4 situation. And Chris coming in with a double. Helmsy down and Pion also eliminated. 8 points to 5 in favor of Valorando, and they are working on number 9 as we speak. It's once again Cypher over at A, holding it down, but look at that. Oh my god, Usta with a double kill. The Sheriff is in town, baby.
That's massive. That is massive. It's given them a good chance, like I say, at least to get the spike down and that damage I was talking about. Maybe the round alongside him. No, Braxco's got other ideas. Quick flick across to find Pylon, securing the round, sealing the deal. Just going to wait here, I think, on the defuse to find some stronger weaponry, maybe. And, okay, I thought they were going to swap across the ult point, but no, they want Braxco to have his Rolling Thunder. I guess because he is a little closer to it as well, after just picking up 2 very spicy frags.
These guys are not showing any mercy, are they? Every single time we are doubting for just a moment if, well, maybe finally we see the Buffalos with another point. We have one of their players step up, get a double, get a triple kill, and then just before they can clutch the round, Valorando turns up the heat and takes them apart and locks it in again. That happened now 2-3 rounds in a row. At this point, we have 9 points against 5. Another 3 for the defenders, and they take it all home. They would take the first place here and secure themselves the title, the victory in this tournament. And once again, where do the attackers go this time? They're playing it extremely close to home. There's the aggressive push-out that we're seeing from Valorando. Defenders a bit more aggressive, and they get the kill against Netty again. And now they got them in the corner. This is going to be rough.
Catching him off time and time again, it's not great. I think the issue is he's trying to play aggressive. He's trying to be that front man, and it's just not working out at all. Valorando have really hit their groove here towards the tail end of the first half and into the second half. It seems to continue, and on a bit of a bonus buy as well. It's dangerous territory if the Buffalos are not able to get a foot in the door.
Yes, definitely true. And Rax is holding A. Still on A, still on looking down A short. There's one on long. They're playing it a bit slow. Valorando doesn't make the mistake after the 2 kills that they just got to just rush out and try to eliminate the rest of them. They know they have the better position right now. They got time on their side too, so they're playing it slow. Pylon on the other hand, he gets the kill against Braxco. That was an important one to bring it back. On A. Can they take him down? And yes, indeed they can. Rax goes down. That's a good one. That equalizes the numbers. Ho, the double kill. Helmsy coming in. 2v2. There comes the orbital strike. And the kill as Chris comes around the corner to take Helmsy apart. Omen, the last man standing. Spike has been planted, he gets the kill, takes Chris down, still has a little bit of armor left, has the hit points too. Only Brimstone is there. Plays it slow, both of them. Time's ticking though, that might just be the point for the Buffalos. Starting to look a little bit better for them. Plays around time, smokes are down. Trying to go for the defuse. Needs to go in, and he gets the clutch kill, that's the triple. He takes Laka down, And that's point number 6 for the Buffalos. Nicely done here. Very well played towards the end there, especially considering that they started this with 2 deaths on their end.
Yeah, it's definitely what they needed as well, right? They needed someone to step up. Bit of an individual player is going to spur everyone forwards. Really nicely done to just play the bomb patiently. And then go for that spray down at the end. Really, really good stuff from Pylon. And like I say, a big round that they needed to win. Buffalo's getting a bit of wind under their sails and also forcing the economy into a bad spot here for Valorando. So it might just be another round that they're able to secure.
Exactly. This is the easy one that you have to pick up now. Valorando obviously still invested a little bit into pistols here and a shotty in close quarter. Let's say double doors, for example. If you move around them without double checking, it can easily take you down. But this is a round that Buffalos need to win if they want to clutch out that third map and take the match. They go for C this time. All of them. No exception. Everybody lined up here. Just waiting for the go, waiting for the move. Bit of a check, of course. Chris is the one holding it. Yeah, there he comes. He sees everybody. Can't do anything about it, though. Smokes are coming in. Shock dart is out. He gets an initial kill, but gets taken down too. Laka comes in with a shot. He takes Helmsy down. 4v2 situation in favor of Valorando, but Pylon through the smoke takes Laka down.
All even Stevens then. There's a few weapons dropped at the top end of C there. Some damage coming in onto the Omen. Goes down. That's the spike. That's actually massive, and they've split up here on the attacking side of things.
I have the spike.
Barrier orb will come through. Spike is recovered. But a man advantage nonetheless for Valorando on the weak buy. Absolutely massive. Nice flank coming in from Booster. Gets one. Almost a second. Kane saving the day. Definitely a tough spray down there for Rax. All going to be down to Neddy now, of course. 10 seconds left to get the bomb plant in. He will, I think, just about, maybe. I'm not sure. He got his pistol out, which I think slows you down. I think just about got it in. Definitely close, though. Definitely close, and going to be a tough one for him. Doesn't have a lot of time to move into a decent position. Going to try and get advanced here in towards yellow. They're both so very close. Going to be hard for him. Gets one, but nice trade from Rax, and Valorando straight back on the board.
Yeah, they get another one. Takes 4 seconds to plant down the spike. Takes 7 seconds to defuse it. He just had enough time there. But definitely losing the spike carrier was the big problem for them. It also forced Sage to go straight in with the wall. If he doesn't have to use the utility there to safely recover the spike, then he has a chance to wall off towards spawn. So that would be great for them. But unfortunately, that didn't came through. Yeah, and that's a bit of a problem right now. That was the round that they were supposed to win, and they didn't. We have 10 points on the board for Valorando, so another 3, and they take the victory in the tournament. For the Buffalos, it also means that they have to play this a little bit on an eco buy. Only Spectres that we see in play. 1 single Vandal, that's all that they got here. They decided to not go for a full eco round. So they at least invest a little bit and try to make the best out of the situation that they're in. It will be tough, though. It's not going to be easy here for them. They need to win another 7 maps if they want to take it. All right, push towards A again. Rax is the one, of course, holding it.
Relatively slow here, and the rotation's coming through as well. I think the information from Rax was in. Got 4 ultimates available here to play with. See what they can get done. The weaponry definitely weaker for the Buffalos as they start to slowly creep in. They've got 50 seconds left, plenty of time to work with, but I think just going to burst out here very, very quickly indeed. Rax holding towards short as Rax does. Might just be able to find one hit, keeping that one player at bay. The cage comes through at long, and now Buffalos are a little bit apprehensive. Where do we go? We don't have a lot of time to rotate back across. Nice pickup from Rax, left low. Might just be able to get the heal in. Sages nearby, I believe. Flank from Pion, however, could be the difference maker. Swaps across to the Vandal, still relatively healthy. Another one picked up. Rax has no idea. They're all over the site. The Showstopper going towards heaven. Got to be careful of that. There is a res available here. There we go, onto Helmsy. In fact, that's the wrong side that I was expecting. I meant the res for Kane to give them a chance. So that's even bigger that Buffalos are able to bring it back down to a 5 versus 3.
Yeah, the 5 versus 3 is in. Buffalos are so far looking really good here. Pion gets another kill against Chris. 5 versus 2 right now. And at this point, Kane just decides that this is lost, doesn't even try to go for the rest. It's obviously tricky for him to get into a spot where he can rest in the first place. It's all around the A spawn, mainly. He was caught off on the other side, caught on long, so in order to make it over to one of the corpses, it's just a bit tricky. So the Buffalos are able to pick this one up, and that was an important one for them. That was a really important one. I think if VALORANDO picks this one up and takes the 11th point, then it's pretty much lights out there. But with 7 to 10, there's still a chance to build up a bit of momentum and get some additional points on the board. Maybe for some of the action here.
Yeah, this flank is what makes the difference, and a bit of miscommunication, I think, as to where he's coming from. Rax looked so unprepared for that.
Yeah, not a full set of buys here either. We still have those Spectres for the attackers. First and Helmsy, but also 2 guns. Chris actually investing into the Guardian. But I think that Rax, if I saw that correctly, what did he actually pick up towards the end there? Didn't quite catch that, but still invested a little bit, I assume.
I would have thought so, right? To keep the economy even across the board.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets himself a Spectre. Not ideal, but definitely workable. I think he is towards the bottom end of the scoreboard as well, as you can see. So perhaps not the most amount of money. He's not consistent with the kills. Jump Peak coming in here. Pylon ready for it. Bit of damage. Not an awful lot, to be fair. They've changed the setup here a little bit, right? Rax not having the best time. Normally they leave him alone on the A-bomb site on that Cypher. He's able to gather information, keep them at bay with the trap wires and whatnot. But they have drawn Braxco across to help him out, who does have the Rolling Thunder available as well.
Yep. 3 ults ready for the defenders, 2 for the attackers. Buffalos, they are the ones who have to pick up the momentum here. They really need to make a couple of kills. Come in! Defenders with the opening, though. Pylon eliminated by Braxco, and they're not stopping there. Usta is also eliminated. So that's a 5 versus 3 situation. Nobody there to bring it back. Quite the opposite, actually. Rax gets another kill in for them. Helmsy eliminated. 5 versus 2, and the attackers are struggling. It's simply Netty who gets a kill towards the end. Might be able to plant, but I think that will be about it. He slows it down as much as he can. Trying to hold that corner, but realistically against 4, it's going to be very tricky. Yeah, gets another kill. Nope, not quite. Neither the plant nor the kill. Chris jumps out of the window, goes for Rambo style, and eliminates him here.
Yeah, a little awkward there. You feel like he should maybe pick that one up, but not the case as it happens. But that's the way that it works out. I think, like you said, it was going to be a really tough time for Neddy, regardless of the facts. But yeah, looking really good for VALORANDO here. We see the buy coming in. It is relatively good from Buffalos. They are struggling, though, to string them together, and that is what is important. VALORANDO, 4 rounds in the lead and kind of keeping that lead. Sometimes it comes within 2 or 3, but they are always in the lead, it seems. We'll see what Buffalos can get done here. A lot of pressure in at middle and window. Trying to find some early aggression, but nothing coming their way. VALORANDO playing very, very passive indeed. Going to try and change it up. It looks like a B hit here is the decision.
Yeah. Taking down the armor, first of all, on the double doors. Trying to shoot through a little bit. Very good kill against Kane. Nicely done. Helmsy with an important one. They get the vision to actually scout out Rax. That was an important one too, so they know exactly where he is. Comes again, the ult, this time from Helmsy as he tries to pick up the kill, and he gets it against Rax. Cypher is down, 5 versus 3 situation. Good moves now on the side of the Buffalos, trying to push into B finally. Of course, the rotation of defenders is coming in as well. But the rotation towards C, they're mixing it up. They're quickly coming on the point. They're guarding towards spawn. They still have one over in the windows. Actually, not anymore. Pion gets taken apart, but the cluster grenades take Chris down too. So 1-for-1 trade, which leaves us with a 4 versus 1 situation and pretty much no hopes for Laka to get this one done. You got the operator. No need to risk it here. That's money that you want to keep. That's expensive. So
really good stuff.
The Buffalos with a really well executed strat over here. Good attack. And that's the 8th point on the board. Closing the gap a little bit.
Got that mid control. And then they were able to work off of it. Move into C. Really good stuff. And VALORANDO, a few holes in the defense for sure. Really not sure about the rotations towards B. And the early ordnance usage, particularly from the Sage, I think it was a bit of a problem there. Kaint used it to get up high, right, which didn't work massively for him, and then he doesn't have the wall available to slow the push down. They're taking a bit of a leaf out of the Valorando book, where it's like, let's try and play nice and slow, walk into them and maybe catch them off guard. Decision to buy up here on the Valorando side of things as well, which around the operator I can see, but the economy of this defending side starting to feel a bit strained, as you can see from Chris on that SMG, not looking great.
Yeah, got the stinger there. Armor gets taken down on the walls, looking for the wall bang again. Kudos to the Buffalos. I mean, credit where credit is due. Every single time you feel that Valorando is walking away with a game, they come in with another win, right? So they just keep the points. They keep in range where you always feel if they build up a bit of momentum here, if they force another eco round, that's maybe another win or two that they need to just close the gap completely. And that's exactly what we're looking at. They're moving towards B again, which is more or less open, but the rotation from the side is already coming in. It's going to get spicy here any second. The plant will be ready. There's the wall. They're trying to break through it. Spike is planted. That's a bit of money already on the line. There's the kills, and they both explode. Double kill on each side. Leaves us with 3. Both of the Sage players are down. No heals available here anymore. We got 2 ults in play though, and that means that especially Raze could come in for the showstopper and get that rocket launcher into play. Braxco goes down as Usta picks up the kill. 3 versus 2 now.
They're going to be so hard to get this defuse in. They're all in and around middle. So many open angles. They don't have a lot of time to work with. Brimstone smokes not available either, so just going to look to back away. It's such a hard site to retake, that B-bomb site, with the super.
Way more interesting than what's happening over there, but still. I don't know what you guys see right now, but I can see myself. So, yeah, with that said, we also have another screen here that we can quickly look at. So I hope that you are still in the game, and at least we have something to peek at. And we are entering the next round. Yeah, 11-9 at this point. Braxco with 19 kills, Pion with exactly the same amount here. And the defenders are forced into buying, well, a Sheriff. Not really a whole lot, if we're honest about it. I mean, there's a Stinger in play, there's a Frenzy, so they don't have a lot. They have a Vandal, they have an AWP, but that's already about it. So this is a really good opportunity for the Buffalos to pick up another point and really close this in.
Oh, nice pickup coming in from Neddy quite early on into this round over at C. Looker getting aggressive. They're trying to find the isolated player at B, but it's not really working out too well. Looks like the C-bomb site going to fall 5 versus 3, so Buffalos probably most likely going to bring it within 1.
What's happening here? Buffalos, all of a sudden, it really looked like they were falling apart, like Valorando would walk away with this and really get that momentum. But the team that usually excels on the defense to such an extent is having huge problems here. Buffalos are coming in with another big plant on C. They have a 5 versus 3 situation going for themselves. This is obviously a round where Valorando couldn't really buy a lot, but they didn't get a kill. They don't have a lot of momentum going for themselves. They try and save a bit of the weaponry that they have. But the Buffalos are completely obliterating this. Chris finally with the kill here. But this is going to be 11 against 10 on the scoreboard. Very impressive.
Yeah, coming all the way down to the wire in our final map of the Grand Final. So definitely going to be tough to call who the victor should be, and some of these little decisions here, there, and everywhere are going to make all the difference. Kaint might be able to catch a couple on the exit here. I mean, they're all around that corner, and they do hear him coming, so not the case. But Chris saving that Vandal across, relatively big. As we said, the economy not great here for the defending side. The operator will come into play once again for Looker, but they need to win this round, otherwise it's going to be so tough, and we might just see Buffalos snatch it away towards the tail end. So yeah, really getting into the make or break rounds.
Look at the money that they have. It's insane. Buffalo, they are fully equipped already, and they have 7,000 on Pion, and Helmsy is on 5,100 still. Win or lose in this round, they are going to have huge economy for the remaining rounds in this game. And now 11 against 10. Valorando, they are the ones that would struggle, as you said, if they lose this round now. Once again on the economy. big opportunity for the Buffalos, despite the fact that they're currently still trailing behind by just a little bit, to take over here. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this one was in the back. But Valorando coming in. Okay, there's the old double ult actually into the corner. Ooh. And Helmsy. Oh my god. Chris, first of all, like a god, getting a double kill. Regardless of the situation. Braxco with a double gets taken out too. A 2v3 though. What the hell is happening?
Great play coming in from Chris. Absolutely massive. And the trades just coming in towards the end. Braxco as well. Oh my goodness, stepping up massively in a round that they needed, and such a good decision from Chris, I think. A split-second kind of decision there. Not only had he been naded down just before this happened, but I think he's been in that corner before, and the orbital strike had really screwed him previously. So instead of just trying to run out of it, he takes the fight, and they're not expecting it at all. And despite the res, they managed to take the round on the Valorando side of things. I think Chris does a great job, but it's Braxco in the middle with that 2K that seals the deal.
I mean, both of them just playing fantastic in the last round here and definitely clutching it for the team. And now we're looking at 3 match points that they have. Buffalos, we pointed it out earlier, they have the economy easily to sustain themselves through a few rounds here. Locka with a shot against Osta. What a fantastic start into the first match point. The ult comes through from Sova as well, as Chris is trying to go for another hit here. That's exactly what they need right now. We could see another kill coming around the corner here on B side. As the wall, they're pretty much staring through the smoke at this point. Once that thing is over, we're going to see one of them fall. 12 versus 10. Call has been made. They're moving on to B. They're trying to make the play. Yeah, there's the ball coming up. And second, the big ult. The big one coming in from Brimstone. Braxco with a pickup afterwards. Takes on Pylon. Pylon is down 2. Kane with the kill. 2 versus 5. This might just be it, script. They go in with Helmsy, and this is it. The champion of the tournament. It is Valorando. They take it. They take the last and final map. A 2-1 victory.